Chronicles of the Rise of a Cultivation Family. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76, Dan Wu. After the beggar finished the spiritual meal in a flash, Yun Yongzhu called the waiter to clean up. After asking, he took the beggar out. Buy a bag later, you can choose the color yourself. Okay, I want a white one. The two talked as they walked out of the gate of Yongzhu Pavilion. Storage tools like bags or storage bags are only sold by Wanbei Pavilion or forces with Jinden Zenran. Yun Yongzhu had already asked about the location of Wanbei Pavilion. He walked straight to the right for a while and saw the Wanbei Pavilion, which covers a large area, after turning a corner. After entering the attic, he directly told the receptionist that he wanted to buy a bag. When a plate of bags was served, the beggar really chose a white one. Although the bag is not a magic weapon, it costs 30 spirit stones, which is comparable to a first level low grade magic weapon. Yun Yongzhu only planned to give the beggar a bag. As for the more valuable storage bag, he would have to find a way in the future. He didn't want to cultivate the beggar's character of relying on him for everything. After that, the two of them left the Wanbei Pavilion. Yun Yongzhu wanted to go shopping in the market and buy some Land's House specialties. Then the two of them went from shop to shop and spent the whole day in the market. The specialties that the second uncle mentioned were all food, some expensive and some cheap. Yun Yongzhu bought a lot of them and spent nearly 100 spirit stones. Of course, in addition to these, Yun Yongzhu also bought a lot of gadgets. For example, the imitation word flower can repeat what it hears, and it is like a loudspeaker, with a loud sound. In addition, Yun Yongzhu also specially bought 2 kinds of Land's House special spiritual fruits, and bought 50 of them for 100 spirit stones. He planned to give these food and special spiritual fruits to his parents and brothers. The biggest expense was not these small gifts, but the spiritual medicine for refining pills. He bought 100 sets of materials for refining pills, and spent a huge sum of 2,100 spirit stones in total. Among them, the materials for the key gathering pill accounted for 95 sets. Because all the spiritual medicines in this key gathering pill are very old, the cost is relatively high. In total, the cost of one set of materials exceeds 22 spirit stones. Fortunately, because Yun Yongzhu bought a lot, the shopkeeper gave him 5 spiritual herbs for the key gathering pill. In other words, Yun Yongzhu had a total of 100 materials for refining the key gathering pill, and the cost was reduced a lot, 21 spiritual stones per piece. The reason why he bought so many materials for refining the key gathering pill was because he planned to stay in the family for a while. At that time, he could refine the key gathering pill, give the good quality ones to his parents and younger brothers, and sell the low quality key gathering pills to the clan members at a low price. Of course, in fact, he originally planned to purchase alchemy materials in Yunzhou City after returning to Yunzhou. This time, he asked about the main medicine for refining the marrow washing pill in Wanbei Pavilion, and the shrewd shopkeeper promoted other spiritual herbs. Yun Yongzhu found that many spiritual herbs were of good quality, old, and strong in medicinal properties, so he decided to buy the materials for refining the key gathering pill in Landshao Wanbei Pavilion. Moreover, the main medicine for refining the marrow washing pill happened to be available in Wanbei Pavilion. Yun Yongzhu bought 4 plants, and also bought 2 copies of the prescription and auxiliary medicine on the marrow washing pill recipe. Let me digress here. In general, there is only one spiritual medicine as the main medicine in the recipe of elixir. However, it is different for the marrow cleansing pill. There are 2 main medicines, namely the marrow cleansing grass and the marrow refining flower. The number of materials for refining the marrow cleansing pill is as many as 198 kinds. Yun Yongzhu spent 1,000 spiritual stones on 2 materials. Ever since Yun Yongzhu bought the marrow cleansing pill at the king meeting, he has been thinking about the recipe of the marrow cleansing pill. After years of hard work, he finally got the recipe of the marrow cleansing pill a year and a half ago. Because Yun Yongzhu felt that his understanding of the refining of the marrow cleansing pill was not thorough enough, and because refining the marrow cleansing pill required sufficient spiritual power. Although Yun Yongzhu had been collecting materials for refining the marrow cleansing pill, he was not very active. Therefore, he has not collected the main medicine of this pill recipe for so long. The successful refining of the Dingayan pill some time ago had a great impact on him. He realized that he had too many concerns before. Now that he has entered the 7th level of key training and reached the minimum requirement for opening the furnace of the marrow cleansing pill, it is time to collect all the materials for refining the marrow cleansing pill. However, although the main ingredient of the marrow cleansing pill is not a rare spiritual medicine, it is not easy to find either. Yun Yongzhu did not expect that he would be able to prepare all the materials for 2 marrow cleansing pills in a short time. After he went to Wanbao Pavilion in Lansao without any hope. This time, Yun Yongzhu did not have many spiritual stones left in his hand, about 700 or so. Yun Yongzhu had to save these spiritual stones for daily practice or emergency use. After all the spiritual stones were used up, he walked back with the beggar. The beggar was full of energy and looked around all the way. Suddenly, the beggar pulled Yun Yongzhu's sleeve. "Ninth brother, this is a Tang family talisman shop. Do you think I recognized it wrong?" Yun Yongzhu looked in the direction the beggar pointed, and it was indeed the words Tang family talisman shop. Yun Yongzhu gave him a thumbs up, praising him for not recognizing the wrong words. The shop was similar to the surrounding shops, both of which were 2-story ancient style buildings with the door wide open. Yun Yongzhu did not go in, he continued to walk back. But he suddenly thought of Senior Tang, wondering if he had any connection with this talisman shop. After a while, the two returned to Yongzhou Pavilion. Considering that the beggar had not yet practiced, Yun Yongzhu lived in the same room with him. Anyway, the two had lived on the merchant ship for more than a month. Liufu, has anyone lived in this yard before? Why does it seem quite clean? After the clerk took the two into the house, he had already wanted to go downstairs to take care of the shop. Senior Yun, I have just cleaned it. Oh, so that's the case. Then where does my second uncle live? Senior Yun's yard is just across from your yard. I see, go get busy. Yun Yongzhu always felt that the expression on the clerk's face was not right, but he didn't know what was wrong. Beggar, it's still early. Watch me refine a furnace of key gathering pills before going to sleep. Ever since Yun Yongzhu gave the Taoist scriptures to senior brother Guliangping, he used the Yongzhu memorandum to teach the beggar to recognize words. In this way, the beggar can not only learn to read, but also lay a good foundation for alchemy. There are no conditions on the merchant ship. You should show me carefully later. Yun Yongzhu took out a set of materials for the key gathering pill, a small piece of xiang wood, a small round basin made of fine iron, and the 9-dragon cauldron. He put the xiang wood into the round basin, and then placed the 9-dragon cauldron on the round basin. The space in the 3 tripod legs of the 9-dragon cauldron was just enough to accommodate the small round basin. After lighting the xiang wood, Yun Yongzhu asked, "Beggar, what am I doing now?" The beggar replied without hesitation, "Preheating the alchemy furnace, and then placing the main medicine, the green blood grass. Not bad. I will reward you with a spiritual fruit, to be eaten tomorrow morning." Yun Yongzhu was very satisfied with the beggar's answer, and he did not ask any more questions. Thinking that the beggar's eyesight was not good now, he deliberately slowed down the speed of refining. Yun Yongzhu put all his consciousness into the alchemy furnace and began to refine the spiritual medicine with concentration. Suddenly, he entered the realm of alchemy enlightenment. Suddenly, he fell into a grand world, and the world was filled with emerald green gas. Occasionally, a small piece of black gas would dissipate, and he inexplicably knew that these black gas masses were impurities. Yun Yongzhu used his spiritual power to annihilate and remove all the black gas masses that appeared until there were no more black gas masses in the emerald green gas. At this moment, he suddenly felt hot all over, and Yun Yongzhu's consciousness instantly broke away from that world. In an instant, he smelled a fragrance wafting out of the 9-dragon cauldron. Yun Yongzhu was shocked and immediately pinched out an ingdanchu as a conditioned reflex. After a few breaths, the 9-dragon cauldron calmed down. Yun Yongzhu waved his hand, opened the furnace cover, and used his spiritual power to pour several pills inside into the jade bottle. He didn't have time to count how many pills came out of the furnace, and immediately closed his eyes and sat cross-legged on the ground, wanting to carefully experience the feeling of entering the pill enlightenment just now. Yes, at this time he had already reacted, and the experience just now was the rumored pill enlightenment realm. Half an hour later, Yun Yongzhu slowly opened his eyes, his face full of joy, and it was obvious that he had gained a lot. Dan enlightenment is a wonderful state that only alchemists have the opportunity to encounter, similar to the sudden enlightenment that monks encounter. Sudden enlightenment is a wonderful state that all monks are eager to enter. Once they fall into sudden enlightenment, the monk's cultivation and state of mind will be greatly improved. The same is true for Dan enlightenment. It is a state that all alchemists can only dream of but cannot reach. Once they experience Dan enlightenment, the alchemist's alchemy skills will be greatly improved. Whether it is sudden enlightenment or Dan enlightenment, for monks and alchemists, it is an adventure that can only be encountered but not sought. Some high-level monks or high-level alchemists have never experienced it in their long lives. Sudden enlightenment and Dan enlightenment do not depend on the monk's talents and qualifications, or even the monk's comprehension. There is no rule to speak of. It depends entirely on the monk's luck and the sudden enlightenment. Just like Yun Yongzhu, he just casually refined a furnace of elixirs without thinking too much, and suddenly fell into the state of Dan enlightenment. Yun Yongzhu sorted out his harvest, and took out the pills he had refined before. He was surprised to find that there were 6 pills in the bottle that had no characteristics of key gathering pills, and there were mysterious lines on the surface of the pills. This is the perfect pill that alchemists dream of. Most alchemists know that in addition to the normal 3 grades of upper, middle and lower, there is actually a perfect quality that is unknown to ordinary cultivators. This perfect quality pill perfectly combines the medicinal properties of all spiritual medicines, does not contain any impurities or pill poison, and cultivators do not have any side effects after taking it, and can take it continuously. Moreover, after taking a perfect quality pill, the spiritual power obtained is also incomparable to the upper grade pills. Just like this key gathering pill, although the upper, middle and lower grades of pills have different efficacy, the spiritual power obtained is actually only the difference between the spiritual power obtained by practicing for 1 day and half a day. The most important difference is the time interval between taking it. But this perfect quality key gathering pill has twice the efficacy of the upper grade key gathering pill. Taking a top grade key gathering pill is equivalent to a monk's hard work for 1 month, and taking a perfect quality key gathering pill is equivalent to a monk's practice for 2 months. Although top grade pills have almost no impurities, they actually still contain a trace of impurities, which requires the monk to metabolize and detoxify for a short period of time, usually about a month. The impurities contained in the middle grade pills are not many, only a little more than the top grade pills, but they are also not easy to refine. Taking a middle grade elixir takes a period of time to remove the elixir poison, usually about 2 months. The low grade pill is the quality of the elixir that monks often take. After taking it, it takes a long time of self-detoxification to eliminate the impurities and elixir poison in the body, which usually takes more than 3 months. If you want to take pills continuously to improve your spiritual power, as long as the quality of the pills you take does not reach the perfect level, you need to take the marrow cleansing pill frequently. Yun Yongzhu put away these 6 pills, which can be used as a gift for his 3 younger brothers. In fact, in his more than 10 years of alchemy career, he occasionally had a big burst of character and refined 1 or 2 perfect quality pills. However, the total number of perfect grade pills refined in more than 10 years was less than 6, and they had already entered his stomach. Yun Yongzhu looked at the beggar, who was still concentrating on himself. Fortunately, Yun Yongzhu had taught him the most basic common sense of cultivation, and he knew not to disturb him. If he was interrupted during the pill enlightenment, Yun Yongzhu would miss a great opportunity. Beggar, it's getting late, go to rest. Good night, brother 9. It was almost midnight. Yun Yongzhu covered the night pearl, and the two went to bed. Chapter 77 Departure. The next morning, Yun Yongzhu did not forget to reward the beggar with a spiritual fruit. After the two had their meal, Yun Yongzhu immersed himself in cultivation, while the beggar tried to draw the key into his body again. When Yun Yongzhu finished his cultivation, the beggar was still sitting cross-legged in meditation. Yun Yongzhu did not disturb him, and walked out of the house lightly. After leaving the small courtyard, he walked to the outside of the courtyard diagonally opposite, and knocked on the door knocker gently. No one answered from inside, and no one came to open the door. Yun Yongzhu guessed that his second uncle should have gone out. With nothing to do, he came to the courtyard, and took out the basic spiritual medicine encyclopedia and read it leisurely. This book has been exchanged by Yun Yongzhu since he entered Qingshan sect, and it has been 12 years since then. Although it is very thick and records thousands of spiritual herbs and medicines, Yun Yongzhu has already read it through. However, Yun Yongzhu has never been able to grasp the most important content, which is the medicinal properties of spiritual medicines. After experiencing the alchemy enlightenment yesterday, Yun Yongzhu suddenly had a rapid understanding of the knowledge of the medicinal properties of spiritual medicines. In the past, when he read the contents of the medicinal properties of spiritual medicines, although he knew every word, he could not understand them when combined. Now when he read the description of the medicinal properties in the elementary spiritual medicine encyclopedia, he can understand and comprehend it. This has to be said, that Yun Yongzhu has a great opportunity and a deep luck. Many second level and third level alchemists only have a vague understanding of the medicinal properties of this spiritual medicine. About half an hour later, the beggar slowly walked out of the room. Brother Jiu, my legs are so numb. It's been more than a month. Why can't I sense the spiritual energy? You have to enter a state of concentration first, before you can sense the spiritual energy. When you enter a state of concentration, you must avoid letting your mind wander. Don't keep thinking about sensing the spiritual energy in your mind. You must forget about the spiritual energy. When you can achieve a state of concentration without distractions, you will soon enter a state of concentration, and then you will be able to sense the spiritual energy and draw the energy into your body in one fell swoop. I will teach you another method. If you really can't concentrate on entering a state of concentration, just concentrate on counting your breaths. Slowly, you will naturally have no distractions. It may be because the beggar has been making a living in Lansao City since he was a child. He has seen too many people of all kinds. His mind is relatively mature and his mind is too active, so it is not easy for him to enter a state of concentration. In the past month, the beggar has not even shown any signs of entering a state of concentration. But Yun Yongzhu is not worried. Just like the fourth uncle of the clan said, he has never heard of any cultivator who can't even draw the energy into the body. Yun Yongzhu suddenly thought of another idea. He reached out and untied the headband with light blue auspicious clouds embroidered on his forehead, then pulled the beggar in front of him and made him face away from him. This headband is a low-grade magic weapon given by my clan before I practiced cultivation. It is called the meditation headband, which has the effect of concentrating the mind and calming the spirit. I have worn this headband since I was a child. I give it to you today. I hope it can help you start to draw the key into your body as soon as possible. Yun Yongzhu tied the headband he had worn for 16 years on the beggar's forehead. Because the beggar was thin, the headband almost covered his entire forehead. The beggar touched the long headband that hung down to his knees and said to Yun Yongzhu in surprise, "Brother Jiu, this band is really magical. I feel my head is cool now, and I don't have the impetuous spirit that I had when I failed to enter the meditation before. It's good that it works." Yun Yongzhu took out the Taoism scripture that he bought yesterday and handed it to him. If you have nothing to do, read the Taoist scriptures. If you feel bored, find something to kill time, but you can't go out. After the beggar left, Yun Yongzhu continued to read the primary spiritual medicine encyclopedia. At noon, Yun Dehao and Tang Bao walked into the backyard from outside. Second uncle, Uncle Tang. Yun Yongzhu greeted them first. Jiu, the caravan has been contacted and will leave in 3 days. If you have anything to buy, you can buy it in these 3 days. Second uncle, I bought everything I wanted yesterday and am waiting to leave in 3 days. That's good. I heard that this caravan has 3 foundation building masters leading it. You don't have to worry too much about safety. Then Yun Hao and Tang Bao told Yun Yongzhu about the origin of this caravan. It turned out that this caravan was jointly established by the three foundation building families in Lanzhou, specializing in transporting spiritual rice, spiritual medicine and some special spiritual resources that are not available in other regions to nearby states. This kind of caravan will be established in almost all states, generally by the foundation building families in the state, and there are also many caravans established by small families. Lanzhou, Yunzhou and Kangshou are all located in the northwest corner of Qingshan sect. Because of their remote location and limited resources, they often have trade exchanges. Because the roads are not peaceful, they often encounter evil cultivators who rob people, killing and injuring many children of small families, and even several major foundation building families have suffered losses. Therefore, led by the foundation building families, with the support of many small families in the key training period, the three states have formed large caravans. After years of cooperation, these caravans have also formed some rules. Many small families and independent cultivators have a certain understanding of the departure time and destination of the caravans. The leader of this large caravan in Lanzhou is the foundation building cultivator of the three major families in Lanzhou, mainly the Yang family of the Blue Ridge Plain. You are also lucky. Lanzhou only goes to Yunzhou once every 3 years, and you just happened to catch up. Yun Yongzhu thought of his Danwu yesterday. Maybe I'm really lucky. Okay, you continue reading. I'll call you when the caravan sets out. Oh, then you guys are busy. Yun Yongzhu watched the two of them walk out again, feeling confused. Why is the second uncle always so close to Uncle Tang? Yun Yongzhu was just wondering for a moment, then he put aside his distracting thoughts and sank into the sea of books again. The 3 days were up soon, and Yun Hao and Tang Bao came to call Yun Yongzhu and the others on time. During these 3 days, Yun Yongzhu saw two elders, Uncle Yun Dafan and Aunt Liu Chunlin, who were specially called back by Yun Hao to look after the store. Yun Hao gave a few words of advice to his 8th brother and his wife, and then led Yun Yongzhu and the others out of the city. As soon as they left the city gate, they saw a huge flow of people at the city gate. Of course, the most eye-catching thing was the long fleet of animal carts next to the flow of people. There were also number plates on the top of the front of the carriages, and the spirit beasts pulling the carts were cloud-stepping beasts. Cloud-stepping beasts are new spirit beasts bred from ordinary mortal horses and spirit beasts such as flaming horses. The cloud-stepping beast has the speed of a fire horse, but it does not have the unruly temperament of a fire horse. Yun Yongzhu looked at the flow of people and estimated the number of people in this caravan. There were about 500 people, and more cultivators joined the team. Some of them were in groups of more than 10 people, some were in groups of 3 or 5 people, and some were lone rangers. These are all cultivators who want to go to Yunzhou. There are small families and small forces in Lanzhou, and many independent cultivators who team up to collect spirit stones to go to Yunzhou together. Did you see that? The 3 groups in the front are cultivators from the 3 major families in Lanzhou, the Yang family, the Tang family, and the Tu family. The cloud-stepping beast of the caravan was provided by the Yang family. Their family domesticates spirit beasts. The fire horse and the cloud-stepping beast are the main spirit beasts domesticated by their family. Yun Hao led a few people into the team and waited together. After a while, Yun Yongzhu found that no new cultivators joined, but everyone still did not move. Second uncle, why haven't you set off yet? Waiting for the 3 leaders to build the foundation. Yun Yongzhu thought to himself, that's it. As soon as Yun Hao finished speaking, 3 beams of light flew out of Lanzhou city. 3 foundation establishment cultivators with powerful spiritual pressure landed in front of the team. A loud voice rang in everyone's ears. Everyone get on the bus, let's go. So everyone took action, quickly found the carriage number plate they bought, and boarded the beast car. Chapter 78. 1 month later, Yun Yongzhu followed Uncle and Uncle Tang to get on a beast carriage near the front. The cloud-stepping beast pulling the carriage was a first-class superior spiritual beast, very tall and strong. The space in the carriage was large, enough for 10 people to lie down and roll around, and if they squeezed together, 30 people could sit. After the 4 people got on the carriage, they closed the door from the inside and lowered the 3 door bolts. Soon everyone got on the carriage. The 3 second-class cloud-stepping beasts in front of the team roared a few times, driving the cloud-stepping beasts and the entire team to run quickly. Yun Yongzhu and Kia got close to the window and could see the scenery outside the window rapidly receding. Suddenly, the body of the carriage slowly left the ground, and Kia shouted, "Ninth brother! Ninth brother! The carriage is flying." After the beast carriage went up to the sky, the slight shaking disappeared. If you didn't look out the window, you couldn't feel the car moving at all. Yun Yongzhu also saw the beast carriage flying into the sky, but his face was very calm, and he turned to look at Yun Daehao and the others. Xiaojiu, beggar, the horse pulling the cart is not an ordinary horse, but a spiritual beast called the cloud-stepping beast. Yun Yongzhu learned from Yun Daehao that the cloud-stepping beast was called the cloud-stepping beast because it was born with the ability to fly on clouds, and it was quite fast. Yun Yongzhu originally thought that the spiritual beast was a spiritual horse bred from an ordinary horse. The cloud-stepping beast is a new breed of spiritual beast bred by the Aoyang family through the mating of ordinary horses and fire horses. It has a mild temperament, is not aggressive, is mainly a vegetarian, and has the magical power of flying that the fire horse does not have. Yun Yongzhu once saw a description of the fire horse in the Yun family records of monsters compiled by his family. It said, a fire-attributed monster. It is one of the top 10 fastest monsters on land, and is the favorite mount of most mid and low-level cultivators. However, an adult fire horse has a bad temper, is extremely aggressive, and is not easy to tame. It is very easy to backfire, so this monster can only be tamed from a young age. Unexpectedly, the hybrid of a fire horse and an ordinary horse gave birth to the cloud-stepping beast, which was not a fire-attributed spiritual beast. Because the Aoyang family cultivated the cloud-stepping beast, their family has supported 5 foundation-building cultivators in just 400 years. As a result, their family has become the top 3 families in Lanzhou, and is also very famous in several nearby states. The Aoyang family also gets the most profit from this caravan. In addition to the 3 major families, other small families, forces and independent cultivators have to pay a certain fee if they want to move with the caravan. The reason why Yun Daehao and his 4 companions occupied a carriage in the beast carriage was closer to the beast carriages of the 3 major families in Lanzhou was because they paid a high amount of spirit stones. Yun Yongzhu was thinking after hearing this, are there no other families who want to cultivate cloud-walking beasts? At this time, Tang Bao said, how could there be no other families? No matter how other families try, they can't cultivate cloud-walking beasts. Not only the forces in Lanzhou, but even the families in Yunzhou and Kangzhou have tried to cultivate cloud-walking beasts, but except for one lucky family that gave birth to a cloud-walking beast cub, there have been no successful cases. Will the Aoyang family sell the cloud-walking beast? Yun Yongzhu felt that this kind of spiritual beast, except that it can't go into the water, has good speed on land and in the sky. He wanted to buy one for himself as a mount. Of course for sale. The Aoyang family must have brought a cloud-walking beast cub when they went to Yunzhou this time, but the price is a little higher. However, the cloud-walking beasts they sold did not give birth to cloud-walking beasts when they grew up. They gave birth to flaming horses or ordinary horses. Yun Yongzhu nodded. Now he only had more than 700 spirit stones in his hand. He didn't know if it was enough to buy a cloud-walking beast cub. He would talk about it when he arrived in Yunzhou. In the time it took for the few people to talk, the caravan had already flown 10 miles away, which was much faster than the Kigan cultivators could do on foot or by using flying spells. In the caravan, the beggar lay by the window and looked at the blue sky and white clouds that were rapidly receding outside, while Yun Yongzhu and the other 2 sat cross-legged with their eyes closed to rest. After about a quarter of an hour, the beggar got tired of the scenery and lay down on the large mat to sleep soundly. The cloud-stepping beasts had to go to Yunzhou every 3 years, and they were old horses who knew the way, so the cultivators of the Aoyang family did not give any more instructions. Even if there were new cloud-stepping beasts, they only had to follow the 3 leading second-level cloud-stepping beasts in front. Yun Yongzhu and the other two discussed taking turns, and no matter whether it was day or night, there was always someone who had to keep an eye on the surroundings. This was much easier than when Yun Yongzhu was alone before. The caravan spent a month in peace, and nothing else happened, except that the cloud-stepping beast stopped to rest and eat. Second uncle, we will be able to enter the territory of Yunzhou in another month. Yes, the speed is really fast. The convoy should stop to rest today. Let's get off and walk then. This is what Yun Yongzhu said to the beggar. After observing for a period of time, he found that the cloud-stepping beast would stop to eat every 4 or 5 days. In the evening, the cloud-stepping beast really flew down from the sky and found an open space to stop. Stopping outside is not like stopping in a long line at the gate of Lanzhou City. I saw that the beast carts stopped next to each other until they formed a circle, and there were 3 large circles in total. After all the beast carts stopped steadily, Yun Yongzhu took the beggar down. They saw that the people of the Yang family were feeding the cloud-stepping beast with spiritual grass again. These spiritual grasses were not the kind of precious spiritual grass that could be used as medicine. They were just grasses planted in spiritual fields that contained a little spiritual energy and were specially used to feed vegetarian spiritual beasts like the cloud-stepping beast. However, the 3 second-level cloud-stepping beasts were treated differently. Not only did they eat twice as much spiritual grass as other cloud-stepping beasts, but they also had elixirs to eat. I just don't know if they were spiritual feeding pills. Yun Yongzhu told the beggar to stay beside the beast cart and not to go too far. Yun Daihao and the others also got off the cart and walked around for a while and got back on after a while. Not long after, all the monks got on the beast cart, waiting to set off again. After an hour and a half, all the cloud-stepping beasts were full and rested. The 3 leading cloud-stepping beasts, urged by their masters, led nearly 91st level cloud-stepping beasts to fly into the sky. Second uncle, the convoy has set off. It's my turn tonight. You and Senior Tang should go to bed early. Well, okay. Be alert at night. I always feel a little ominous today. Second uncle, it turns out that you have this feeling too. I was a little uneasy this afternoon, but I was calm all afternoon. It seems that I have to pay more attention tonight. Although cultivators do not have the ability to predict the future, the higher the cultivation level, the more they will sense the dangers they will encounter in advance. After Yun Daihao explained everything, he and Tang Bao lay down for a light sleep. The beggar was already asleep. Yun Yongzhu tucked him in a thick blanket and then sat upright with his eyes closed to rest. He always kept a 10-point focus on the outside of the car. The convoy had been flying for an hour without encountering any danger, so Yun Yongzhu gradually relaxed and only kept 6 or 7 points of energy on the outside of the car. Chapter 79 Sneak Attack. It was midnight when Yun Yongzhu suddenly felt a sense of impending disaster and he opened his eyes instantly. He didn't have time to figure out what was going on, and he immediately woke up Yun Daihao and Tang Bao without hesitation. Yun Daihao and Tang Bao were only in a light sleep and Yun Yongzhu only called them twice, and they woke up. Uncle, I feel something is wrong. As soon as he finished speaking, 5 sharp sword lights fell on the 3 beast carts in front. The sword light flashed, and the carriage made of first-grade ironwood was split into 2, but the 3 foundation building monks flew out of it unscathed. The 3 of them breathed a sigh of relief when they saw this. Since their main combat power was not damaged, the pressure they would face next would be less. In the night sky, 5 black shadows appeared 10 miles away and came to the 3 foundation building monks in the blink of an eye. They used magic weapons and spiritual weapons to fiercely attack the 3 foundation building leaders who had just stopped. However, the 3 of them were already prepared at this time, and the sneak attack of the 5 people did not succeed. However, the appearance of these people caused the cloud-stepping beast to panic, and they all stopped in the air. The monks in the car also discovered something unusual at this time. They rushed out and rushed to kill the 5 people. Although they were only in the key training stage, there is a saying that ants can kill elephants. Their number was many times more, so even if they knew that the other party was a foundation establishment cultivator, they were not too afraid. Attack together. First attack the evil cultivator with the lowest cultivation. Yun Yongzhu and his beast car were relatively forward, and at this time the 3 of them were flying in front. With the power of his soul, Yun Yongzhu identified the one with the lowest cultivation among the 5 Foundation establishment cultivators, who was only in the early stage of Foundation establishment. At this time on the battlefield, the Foundation establishment cultivator of the Yang family was holding back 3 other cultivators, including the cultivator with the lowest cultivation, that Yun Yongzhu pointed out. Hundreds of key training cultivators attacked the man together, some threw out talismans, some performed spells, and some drove magic weapons. All I could see was a sky full of water balls, water arrows, fireballs, golden blades, ice blades, vines, swords, and other various attacks shrouding the man and whistling away. The Foundation building cultivator saw so many attacks coming at him, and hurriedly released a shield for himself, and then sacrificed a spiritual shield to break away from the team that was besieging Senior Aoyang. Master Aoyang breathed a sigh of relief. Although he was a cultivator in the late stage of Foundation building, facing the continuous attacks of 3 people, he couldn't even catch the opportunity to fight back, and could only defend blindly. At this time, while dealing with 2 Foundation building cultivators, he commanded his own children to appease the stepping cloud beasts. Each spiritual beast was cultivated by their family with great effort, and they could not afford to lose. Yun Yongzhu's group of hundreds of key training cultivators never stopped attacking, so the evil Foundation building cultivator never found a chance to fight back. However, although they were many in number, their cultivation level was low and their spiritual power was not much. If they kept attacking like this, they would not be able to hold on for long. On the other side, under the comfort of the Aoyang family, the cloud-stepping beasts calmed down one after another, and followed the instructions to drag the carriages to the land below. Seeing that they were fighting and heading to the land, Yun Yongzhu felt more and more uneasy. Sure enough, the convoy had just descended, and had not yet stopped, and dozens or even hundreds of key training cultivators appeared from nowhere. Moreover, most of these people had key training levels of 7 or 8, and there were even cultivators of key training level 9. They all pounced on the low-level cultivators wandering around the battlefield, just like a wolf pounced on a flock of sheep. Some of the cultivators in this caravan were family members, and some were independent cultivators. The 3 leaders were all tied up, so everyone fought on their own, and the scene was in chaos. Shortly after landing, casualties occurred in the caravan, and many cultivators in the early stage of key training fell to the ground and died at the hands of this group of evil cultivators. Gradually, independent cultivators in the caravan wanted to escape in the chaos, and some cultivators did escape successfully. When the monks in the caravan, who were still fighting, saw this, their morale was in chaos. The battle situation, which had been gradually stabilizing, was heading for decline again. Yun Yongzhu began to panic. They had been attacking for a long time, and some monks were running out of spiritual power. He found that several people were hiding behind. Suddenly he heard Yun Daihao remind him loudly, "Zio Jiu, be careful of sneak attacks." Yun Yongzhu performed a golden armor technique on himself completely by instinct, and narrowly blocked the sneak attack between life and death. It turned out that a monk in the late stage of key training had entered their battle circle and was using a flying needle magic weapon to sneak attack Yun Yongzhu. Fortunately, Yun Yongzhu did not fall behind in the practice of defensive spells. Even after entering the sect, he practiced the golden armor technique to the state of great perfection and could release it instantly to protect himself. Yun Yongzhu breathed a sigh of relief, and before he could rejoice, he quickly slapped another first-grade water shield talisman on himself. He had no choice. If he continued to cast spells by himself, the spiritual power in his body would not last long. Once their spiritual power is exhausted, they will become fish on the chopping board, at the mercy of others. Everyone be careful, use defensive talismans, if you have them, and use defensive spells or defensive magic tools, if you don't have them, and add a shield to yourself. Yun Yongzhu looked at the monk who attacked him, and found that he was a young man who was slightly older than him, but his cultivation was quite good, and he was already at the 8th level of key training. Yun Yongzhu looked at the man fiercely, took out a first-level lower-grade sharp gold talisman from his storage bag, and threw it at the other party. A golden light shot out from the talisman, like a golden lightning, and flew directly to the man's head. Before the sharp gold talisman could work, Yun Yongzhu took out 2 first level upper grade sharp gold talismans from his storage bag, and then attacked with the previous golden light. The monk was experienced and sacrificed a round shield magic tool. The magic tool spun in front of him, and turned into a 1-meter circle shield to protect him firmly. Unfortunately, the magic weapon was only a first-class medium-grade defensive magic weapon. It only resisted the golden light transformed by the sharp gold talisman in front, but was cut into 2 pieces by the second golden light. He didn't have time to use other defensive means, and was chopped off his head by the third golden light in fear. Yun Yongzhu saw this, and felt quite relieved. However, he was not too proud. The battle situation here had reached a very dangerous time. More than half of the cultivators had consumed 60% to 70% of their spiritual power. The frequency of attack was reduced a lot. Everyone was a little timid, and didn't dare to stand in front. After all, this was a foundation building cultivator. Yun Yongzhu quickly took out a bottle of key recovering pills from the storage bag, and gave 2 to Yun Dehao and Tang Bao each. This is a key recovering pill. Then he gave 1 to each of the 5 cultivators closest to him. Although Yun Yongzhu was an alchemist, he didn't have many pills in his hand. The most in stock was the key gathering pills used for cultivation. He only had 3 of these top grade key recovering pills left, which he kept for himself. You damned bastards, you actually dared to attack me for so long. You should also take my move. The foundation building cultivator was very annoyed by being besieged by a group of low-level cultivators, but he had no room to fight back. At this time, seeing that the attacks were getting less and less, he finally found an opportunity to attack. He was seen controlling the defensive spiritual weapon to resist the attack of the talisman, while offering a small black flag surrounded by yin energy. The small black flag rotated several times in front of the evil cultivator, and turned into a large flag 3 feet wide and 6 or 7 feet long. The spiritual energy contained in it was black, giving people a sense of terror. You force me to do this. In order to teach you a lesson, it doesn't matter if I bleed a little. He suddenly sprayed a large mouthful of blood on the black flag magic weapon, and the strange magic weapon suddenly became black, and seemed to have life. It made a strange sound of woo woo woo. Kill them all for me, suck them dry. The evil cultivator had a hideous face, and gave orders excitedly. The magic weapon seemed to understand, and black gas separated from it continuously, forming a group of erratic gas balls that rushed towards Yun Yongzhu and the others. This is a fierce ghost. Quickly use thunder and fire attribute spells to attack. There were cultivators in the crowd who were knowledgeable, and recognized the origin of the black gas. This fierce ghost was not the wild ghost in the mountain village that Yun Yongzhu had encountered before. Ordinary low-level magic weapons had limited damage to them. Even fire attribute spells would not do much damage to them. Only thunder attribute spells or magic weapons made of thunder attribute materials were their only nemesis. However, there were only 1 person with thunder attribute spiritual roots in 10,000, and magic weapons made of thunder attribute materials were very valuable. Among the people present, only 1 person could use thunder attribute spells, and that person was Tang Bao. It turned out that he was really a talisman master. In order to draw thunder attribute talismans, he practiced the thunderball technique for more than 10 years. However, he was like a drop of water in a big fire, and he was not very useful in the entire battle circle. Everyone was using fire attributed spells such as firebomb spell, fireball spell, flame spell and other fire attributed spells to attack the vicious ghosts that kept attacking, but they had little effect. The thick black air around them was their invincible armor. This black air was their resentment. The more pain they suffered before death, the heavier the resentment they had after death. They had no reason, only knew how to kill, and only had the instinct to strengthen their own resentment. It wasn't long before a cultivator was dragged into the black air group and was devoured alive by the essence, vitality, and vitality of the whole body, leaving only bones and skin. The evil cultivator was very happy to see this scene. That's it, babies, suck them all dry. Hahaha. Yun Yongzhu also heard the screams. He shuddered and threw out another first level low grade thunderball talisman. It's really a pity that there are not enough talismans when you need them. Fortunately, Tang Bao knows the thunderball spell and has been protecting Yun Yongzhu and his nephew. Ever since the evil cultivator released these evil ghosts, the situation has been completely reversed. Originally, a group of them were besieging him alone, but now the evil cultivator is besieging a group of them. Evil ghosts are not human. Yun Yongzhu took the time to look at the battle situation of the foundation building period. They were all far away, fighting from the ground to the sky, and the fight was difficult to resolve. The situation was very tense. He thought that he couldn't wait any longer and had to find a way himself. He still had 2 second level attack talismans, the golden knife talisman and the lightning talisman. He didn't want to use them, but if he didn't use them now, he didn't know if he would still be alive. Please help me think of a name, a beggar's name, a name of the young generation. Chapter 80, Killing the Foundation. Yun Yongzhu made up his mind and prepared to secretly send a message to everyone, asking them to assist him. At this moment, the spirit beast bag on his waist, which had been silent for a long time, jumped. Xiaojin finally woke up, and he didn't know whether it had successfully advanced. Yun Yongzhu didn't delay any longer and quietly wiped the spirit beast bag and let Xiaojin out. As soon as the soul-devouring golden cicada came out of the spirit beast bag, it excitedly flew around Yun Yongzhu up and down. He felt that the spiritual energy around Xiaojin was much richer, and he couldn't help but be overjoyed. Xiaojin successfully advanced and became a second level lower grade soul-devouring golden cicada. This means that the power of the soul-devouring golden cicada's innate magical power is more powerful and can hurt foundation building monks. Xiaojin, you woke up just in time. Xiaojiu, be serious. Tang Baobao had been paying attention to protecting Yun Yongzhu. Seeing that he didn't continue to attack the evil spirit, he couldn't help but walk to his side and whispered a serious reminder. Among the 3 people, Tang Baobao consumed the most spiritual power, and at this time, his spiritual power had been used up by half. He took a high-grade key restoring pill given by Yun Yongzhu, and then sent a message to Yun Yongzhu and Yun Daihao. The situation is not good. It seems that Senior Raoyang and the others cannot come to support us. We have to find a way to escape by ourselves. Before Yun Yongzhu could reply, he saw Xiaojin suddenly became excited, and even the frequency of flapping its membrane wings became significantly faster. After a little sensing, it turned out that it had noticed the evil spirits around. From the look of it, it was obvious that it regarded these wolf-like evil spirits as its meal. Yun Yongzhu could not have thought that these resentful souls were also its delicacies for the soul-devouring golden cicada. However, he would not let Xiaojin go out to alarm those resentful ghosts and evil cultivators, and he quickly stopped the soul-devouring golden cicada from moving. Second Uncle Tang, I have a soul-devouring golden cicada in my hand. It has just advanced to become a second-level low-grade spiritual insect. Its innate magical power, the soul calming technique, is the nemesis of spiritual bodies. Attacking cultivators can also shock the cultivators' souls. I still have 2 second-level low-grade spiritual talismans, the golden knife talisman and the lightning talisman. When Xiaojin attacks the evil cultivator, we will take the opportunity to attack. What do you think of this idea? Yun Yongzhu quickly sent a message to the 2 of them, while casting a first-level medium-grade fireball talisman. In addition to the thunderball talisman, he also had 2 first-level low-grade attack talismans. The rest were all medium-high grade, but unfortunately there were not many of them. Tang Baobao and Yun Daihao looked at each other, nodded in agreement with Yun Yongzhu's proposal, and told Yun Yongzhu to be careful, and then sent messages to the cultivators, who were struggling around them. About half a minute later, he said to Yun Yongzhu, Xiaojiu, we have already discussed it. You just need to control your spirit insect to attack the evil cultivator in the foundation building stage. The rest will be left to us. Yun Yongzhu nodded in agreement, and then reminded, although the soul calming technique has a miraculous effect, Xiaojin has just advanced, so I'm not sure how long its attack will last. You must seize the opportunity. Got it, you can start. Yun Yongzhu nodded, and then immediately pretended that his spiritual power was exhausted, and his talismans were almost used up, with a panicked look on his face. Hurry up and save me. I only have 2 talismans left. Sure enough, Yun Yongzhu's performance successfully attracted the attention of the evil cultivator. Haha, another poor little insect. You are unlucky to meet me. When you go to the underworld, don't forget me, Zhang Jianren. In fact, there is no underworld, and the resentful ghosts even devour the souls of the cultivators. But Zhang Jianren didn't notice that a small soul-devouring golden cicada was circling behind him. Whether it is a magical power of spirit beasts and demon beasts, or the various magic spells and formulas practiced by cultivators, there is a casting range. Beyond this range, the spell cannot attack the enemy. Of course, the higher the level of magic power, the wider its range of action. The soul-devouring golden cicada's innate magical power is very powerful. At the first level, its attack range reached a radius of 50 feet. At this time, it has advanced to the second level spirit insect, and its attack range has increased sixfold to 300 feet. Although Yun Yongzhu is not very clear about the range of the spiritual consciousness of the foundation building cultivator, he has learned a little. As far as he knows, after the cultivator builds the foundation, the spiritual consciousness will increase by about 10 times, and the maximum should be only 50 feet. Therefore, the soul-devouring golden cicada will definitely successfully attack this evil cultivator in the foundation building period. And this is also the confidence of Yun Yongzhu to use the soul-devouring golden cicada to sneak attack Zhang Jianren. To be on the safe side, Yun Yongzhu used his mind to tell Xiaojin to get closer to cast the magical power. The evil cultivator saw the panicked faces on the field and felt a morbid sense of satisfaction in his heart. Just as he was watching Yun Yongzhu being dragged out and devoured by his beloved resentful ghost, Xiaojin suddenly used his innate magical power on him. The soul-devouring golden cicada vibrated the eardrum of its abdomen vigorously, making a sharp and loud cry. Of course, this sound could not be heard by others. The sound waves that were invisible to the naked eye were centered on the soul-devouring golden cicada and spread to a radius of 300 feet in less than a breath. Yun Yongzhu's full attention was on the evil cultivator. Not only him, but all the living key training cultivators in the battle circle were concentrating on the evil cultivator. Fortunately, they all remembered to cover up and did not show their expressions on the surface. If the evil cultivator found out, they would fail. Fortunately, the evil cultivator was confused by the fear and panic shown by Yun Yongzhu and others, and did not turn around. The sudden attack of the soul calming technique was undoubtedly effective. The evil cultivator screamed, and the defensive spirit shield in his hand fell down. He knelt on the ground in pain, holding his head tightly. Quick! As soon as Yun Yongzhu finished speaking, a golden knife talisman with aura overflowing flew towards the evil cultivator Zhang Jianren at a high speed. The golden knife talisman was very fast, and halfway through it turned into a golden sword with a length of 10 feet. The golden knife transformed by the second level golden knife talisman fell on the head of the unsuspecting evil cultivator. The golden knife was like cutting tofu, from top to bottom, and easily split the man in half. From the time the talisman was thrown out to the time the evil cultivator was killed, the whole process took less than a breath. This golden knife talisman is indeed a second level spirit talisman. Even the second level inferior golden knife talisman has such great power. Everyone showed an expression of disbelief when seeing this scene, and couldn't believe that it was so easy to easily solve a foundation building cultivator. Yun Yongzhu took the opportunity to fly over and take out the soul locking bag on his waist. He used the soul detection technique to hit the corpse of the evil cultivator. So it's hiding here. Yun Yongzhu found the hiding place of the evil cultivator's soul and used the soul seal to catch it. Looking at the green light ball struggling in the palm of his hand, Yun Yongzhu didn't think much and stuffed it into the soul locking bag. The soul of a foundation building cultivator is much more rational than the spirit of monster. The soul is still struggling violently and even begs Yun Yongzhu for mercy in a sober state. Unfortunately, Yun Yongzhu believes in cutting the grass and rooting out the danger in the bud. Who knows what magical powers the foundation building cultivator has? If he escapes, there is no guarantee that he will not be resurrected and come to seek revenge. He has heard and seen similar examples many times in some strange stories and travel books. Yun Daihao reacted instantly when Yun Yongzhu collected the evil cultivator's soul. While the other cultivators were still in shock, he went over and swept away the storage bag on the evil cultivator and the spiritual tools that fell beside him. Tang Bao Bao also followed behind Yun Daihao. protecting the two from the attacks of the crazy evil spirits, and also guarding against other monks. When the uncle and nephew completed the series of actions, less than 3 breaths had passed, and everyone had reacted. Chapter 81, dealing with the evil cultivator. The crowd that had reacted did not raise any objection to the two's actions. This was mainly because the credit for killing the evil cultivator belonged to Yun Yongzhu and his group. The second level inferior golden knife talisman was from Tang Bao Bao, the sneak attacking spirit insect was from Yun Yongzhu, and the others were just covering up when resisting the black shadow evil ghost, to attract the attention of the evil cultivator. In fact, everyone did not know that the evil cultivator had consumed 80% to 90% of his spiritual power under the siege of hundreds of key training cultivators, and he was already strong on the outside, but weak on the inside. In fact, if they rushed forward, they would be able to kill him quickly, but everyone was frightened by the sudden appearance of the evil ghost. This was not a good time to argue. Although the foundation building evil cultivator was dead, the crisis was not resolved. After the black flag lost the control of its owner, the black air surrounding it was gradually fading. However, the evil ghosts and resentful spirits that had been wandering outside did not automatically return to the black flag magic weapon. At this time, they had already woken up from the attack of the soul-devouring golden cicada's innate magical power, and the black hair on their bodies had also faded a little. Because of this, they attacked everyone even more frantically. Yun Yongzhu looked around and saw that there were about 50 or 60 evil ghosts on the field. He wondered if Xiaojin could deal with them all. He would try to use the soul locking bag first. Xiaojin, go. Yun Yongzhu ordered the soul-devouring golden cicada, who was already salivating, to attack. The soul-devouring golden cicada immediately shot from Yun Yongzhu's side into the center of the evil ghosts. Xiaojin used the same trick again. Once the magic spell was released, all the black figures around it were fixed in place. From the violent fluctuations of the black air around them, it was clear that they were suffering from a soul attack. After the soul-devouring golden cicada used the magic spell, it excitedly pounced on the evil ghost closest to it. Xiaojin lay on top of it, and its small golden figure was almost submerged in the black air protecting the evil ghost. Then Xiaojin sprayed out a green glow, covering the figure of the evil ghost completely. The evil ghost struggled helplessly in the green glow, then let out a sharp scream, and its entire body was dragged into Xiaojin's small mouth. The whole process took only about 1 breath. Seeing this, the others took the opportunity to escape from the circle and stay away from the soul-devouring golden cicada. Seeing this, Yun Yongzhu took out the soul-locking bag again and tried to catch your evil ghost with the soul-summoning technique, and it really succeeded. As for what would happen to the evil cultivator's soul inside, it was not a problem that Yun Yongzhu would worry about. Seeing this, Tang Bao Bao and Yun Daihao quickly signaled others to rescue the other cultivators who were still fighting. On Yun Yongzhu's side, he and the soul-devouring golden cicada divided the work. Xiaojin swallowed a delicious food, flapped his membrane wings with satisfaction, and pounced on the next evil ghost. Yun Yongzhu kept performing the soul summoning seal, collecting all the evil ghosts that had no power to fight back into the soul locking bag. The master and the servant moved extremely quickly, and before the soul-devouring golden cicada's magical power failed, they swept away all the black figures. The soul-devouring golden cicada seemed to have eaten too much, and it staggered and flew to Yun Yongzhu's shoulder and stopped. Yun Yongzhu could feel that his spiritual consciousness had slightly increased, and the increase was a little more than before when he devoured the spirit of the monster. It might be because Xiaojin devoured more evil spirits this time, or it might be because the quality of evil spirits was much better than that of the spirit of the monster. It was more likely that Xiaojin had advanced to a second level low-grade spirit insect. Yun Yongzhu did not think much about it and put the soul-devouring golden cicada back into the spirit beast bag, then took a key restoring pill, turned around and said to Yun Daihao and the others, "Second uncle, Uncle Tang, what should we do with this black flag magic weapon?" Right next to the dead evil cultivator, a small black flag was quietly and harmlessly inserted there. "Put it away first. Don't worry, it shouldn't hurt anyone now." Yun Yongzhu stepped forward, carefully wrapped it with a handkerchief, and then immediately put it into the storage bag. He had never seen such a strange magic weapon before, and he couldn't help but be careful. Yun Yongzhu asked for the advice of the second uncle again. Should we go to help them now, or leave directly? Of course we should go to help. We have shown our faces in front of the cultivators of the 3 major families in Lanzhou. If we leave now, our family's business in Lanzhou City will be difficult in the future. Besides, even if some low-level cultivators on our side died, there are more of them, and Senior Raoyang has not shown any signs of defeat. Yes, second uncle. So the 3 of them went to the nearby small battlefield. With the help of Yun Yongzhu and the other 2 and the hundreds of cultivators who had gone to assist before, the entire battle situation was quickly reversed. Some evil cultivators found that the situation was not good and wanted to take the opportunity to escape, but how could Yun Yongzhu and the others let them succeed? In less than an incense stick of time, almost all the evil cultivators in the key training stage were solved by Yun Yongzhu and the others. The remaining caravan cultivators all gathered together, and they were discussing whether to help the 3 seniors in the foundation building stage. Everyone was expressing their opinions, and suddenly a huge noise came from the battlefield of the foundation building cultivators. Boom. Boom. Everyone turned around and saw that the 4 evil cultivators had discovered the situation here and were about to escape, but were stopped by Master Raoyang, who had the highest cultivation level. While the 4 evil cultivators were in a panic, the 3 foundation building seniors of the caravan launched their ultimate moves in tacit agreement, severely injuring the 4. In the end, except for 1 foundation building evil cultivator who managed to escape, the remaining 3 evil cultivators were killed by Master Raoyang and his men. The 3 collected the evil cultivators' storage bags and other items, burned their bodies, and returned to the caravan in a short while. Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but feel sorry for the dead evil cultivator's soul when he saw it, as it was a material for refining pills and weapons. Unfortunately, it was too far away, and the spiritual flame had already burned the evil cultivator's soul to ashes. Everyone, pack up quickly. The Aoyang family, go and find all the stepping cloud beasts. The 3 leaders gave orders as soon as they came back. So some cultivators went to collect the bodies of the dead cultivators, while others searched for the stepping cloud beasts nearby. Yun Dehao and the other man were not idle. They also went to help find the treading cloud beast, while Yun Yongzhu found the beast cart they had taken before. As soon as Yun Yongzhu opened the door of the beast cart, the beggar rushed over and hugged him. Yun Yongzhu breathed a sigh of relief. Although everything had been arranged before getting off the car, there was still a possibility of accidents. Brother Jiu, you are finally back. I was so scared. Wu the beggar was just a child of 8 or 9 years old. In his short life, he had never encountered or experienced such a cruel thing. The beggar's tears and snot all came out in a flash, and Yun Yongzhu hurriedly hugged him and comforted him. Beggar, it's okay. Look, the bad guys outside have been killed by us. Yun Yongzhu comforted the beggar for a while, and then took out food to calm him down. After the beggar finished eating, Yun Yongzhu slapped a calming talisman on his body. Under the effect of the calming talisman, the beggar's emotions gradually calmed down. Beggar, you sleep in the car first. I'm going to go see what's going on outside. Upon hearing this, the beggar immediately became excited again, and grabbed Yun Yongzhu's sleeve tightly. No. Brother Jiu, I want to be with you. Yun Yongzhu thought that there were no evil cultivators now, so he agreed to take him with him. Okay, then you follow me closely. Yun Yongzhu got off the animal cart first, then turned around and picked up the beggar, holding his little hand. He looked around and saw the figures of Yun Dehao and the other person, so he walked in their direction. The beggar's speed was too slow, so Yun Yongzhu had to carry him on his back. Hold on tight, don't fall off. Yun Yongzhu soon arrived beside Yun Dehao and the other person. Uncle Tang, how is the situation? Not very good. There are 71 bodies of monks found. With the escaped and missing, the original team of more than 700 people is now only 450 or so. The goods in many carriages were also stolen. And I don't know how many of the Aoyang family's cloud stepping beasts were lost. Yun Yongzhu was silent for a while and said, fortunately, none of us were in trouble and no goods were lost. When embarking on the path of cultivation, you will always face some difficulties and obstacles. The three of them searched in the forest in silence. Uncle, look, there is a cloud-stepping beast over there. Yun Yongzhu suddenly saw a snow-white figure and hurriedly reminded Yun Daehao and Tang Bao in a low voice. The two looked in the direction that Yun Yongzhu pointed, and it was indeed a cloud-stepping beast. Uncle, can we take it in? Yun Yongzhu's meaning couldn't be more obvious. He wanted to take the cloud-stepping beast in private. Yun Daehao didn't think much about it and rejected his idea. Forget it, it's not far from here. If there's any movement, it will attract the foundation building masters. Besides, after the spirit beast and the cultivator signed the contract, they can sense each other at close range. We can't take risks. Yun Daehao's words made sense, and Yun Yongzhu had no choice but to agree. Then I'll go call the Aang family, you guys stay here to watch it. Yun Yongzhu quickly went to call people, and successfully brought the cloud-stepping beast back to the team. After that, the few people never found the cloud-stepping beast again. Back in the convoy, everyone watched all the bodies being burned to ashes. Then they sorted out the goods and carriages a little bit, and got back on the car and set off again. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82, Dividing the Loot. Yun Yongzhu sat in the gradually rising carriage and looked down at the beast carriage, feeling mixed emotions. Beggar stood beside him, looking down at the dark place together. What happened today left a deep impression on him, and he would not forget it for a short time. Beggar, go to sleep, it's all over. The beggar then rested his head on Yun Yongzhu's knees and closed his eyes. Yun Yongzhu guessed that what happened today would have a great impact on the beggar. Sure enough, the beggar was not at peace even in his sleep, so Yun Yongzhu had to take a picture of him with the calming talisman. The beggar then relaxed and fell into a deep sleep. Although both the calming talisman and the calming talisman have the effect of calming the mind, the calming talisman has a greater effect. For a mortal, it can even be said to be a fatal side effect, which can make a mortal with no cultivation fall asleep for 30 days and nights without waking up. But Yun Yongzhu certainly would not harm the beggar, and he had the corresponding awakening talisman in his hand, which could wake the beggar up. When the beggar fell into a deep sleep, the few people started to communicate. Xiaojiu, you've worked hard today. Have you ever encountered something like this before? Yun Yongzhu smiled bitterly and said, since I left the sect, I really haven't encountered such a big battle. Are the evil cultivators so rampant nowadays? That's because you are short-sighted. Most of these evil cultivators are independent cultivators. In order to obtain resources and improve their cultivation level, they can do anything. Besides, Lanzhou and Yunzhou are located in remote areas, and there are often monks who rob people. It's just that this time the caravan encountered 5 evil cultivators in the Foundation establishment period, which has been heard of for many years. Fortunately, it is Senior Aang Xiu of the Aang family who led the team this time, otherwise the result would be really unpredictable. Wasn't Master Aang led the team before? This caravan is usually led by 3 Foundation establishment masters. In the past 10 years, there has been no cultivator in the late Foundation establishment period leading the team. It is estimated that this group of evil cultivators has been eyeing the caravan for a few years. They made a move after they were sure that there were no cultivators in the late Foundation establishment period. As a result, they unfortunately encountered Senior Aang Xiu traveling when they made a move. Think about it, the other side has 5 foundation building cultivators, and the caravan only has 3 cultivators in the early or middle stages of foundation building. What will happen? Yun Daehao and Tang Bao analyzed to Yun Yongzhu one after another. Aren't you an alchemist? Why don't you have more elixirs in your hand? After this, you must make more preparations, especially for elixirs and talismans. Even if the grade is not high, it can save your life in a crisis. Just like the cultivators who died in the hands of evil spirits before, they all died because of insufficient preparation of talismans. Of course, in fact, it's not that others don't prepare, but that most people don't have enough resources. The key is to improve your own cultivation realm so that you can calmly deal with various unexpected changes. Yun Yongzhu nodded repeatedly. He had thought of these when he was fighting. Yun Daehao and the others looked at each other again and took out a dark storage bag. This is the storage bag of the evil cultivator in the foundation building stage. Now that we have time, let's divide the things inside and see what each of us needs. Yun Yongzhu didn't think much about it. Even if his second uncle didn't take it out, he wouldn't have any objections. They were all family members. But he was still curious about what was in the storage bag of the cultivator in the foundation building stage. The two moved to where the beggar slept and cleared a space. Yun Daehao wiped the storage bag and easily wiped out the remaining spiritual consciousness on it. The spiritual consciousness probed into it, and without careful observation, he first moved out some of the items. Spirit stones, jade bottles, jade boxes, and various magic tools. Yun Daehao was the one who distributed them. The spirit stones will be divided equally among us later. Xiaojiu, you are an alchemist, identify these pills first. Bao, let's see what's in the jade box. The three of them then got busy. Yun Yongzhu opened the jade bottles one by one, first confirming whether they were poison pills. If not, he would pour them into his hands and observe them. Occasionally, he would scrape a little powder from the pills and put it into his mouth. In just a quarter of an hour, Yun Yongzhu had identified and classified all the pills. Yun Daehao and the others were a step slower than him and also finished looking at the items in the jade boxes and wooden boxes. Uncle, this bottle of medicine is a second grade, lower grade soul gathering pill, which is used by foundation building cultivators to improve their spiritual power. There are 4 pills left. These are 3 second grade, lower grade soul recovery pills, which are pills that quickly restore spiritual power. This jade bottle contains a second grade, lower grade recovery pill, which is a healing pill. There are also 2 bottles of first grade Bagu pills and 1 first grade, upper grade grass recovery pill. Grass recovery pill is also a healing pill, which can stop bleeding and regenerate flesh after taking it, and is very useful for treating minor injuries, but its efficacy is less than 1/10 of the recovery pill. The remaining bottle is a poison pill, with 3 pills, and I can't tell what kind of poison pill it is. The last 2 bottles of pills have 2 pills, which I can't recognize at all, but I'm sure they are first grade pills, but not poison pills. This soul gathering pill is of no use to us, so why not hand it over to the family and give it to the 25th uncle and the 9th uncle to take, and divide the family contribution points equally among the 3 of us. According to the family rules, no matter whether the clan members hand in elixirs, or magic weapons and talismans, the family will not let them hand them in for nothing, and will give corresponding contribution points. Yun Yongzhu had no objection. If the gathering spirit pill was sold, it would be a bargain for outsiders. If he kept it in his own hands, he would not be able to use it now. It would be best to give it to his 25th great uncle and his family. Each of us will have one of these 3 soul restoring pills. With our cultivation in the key training stage, we will probably only need to take less than half of it, and we will be able to restore all our spiritual power in an instant. We can keep it for use at the critical moment. There are 3 poison pills, 1 for each of us. I will share the Bagu pill and the grass returning pill with your Uncle Tang. As for this recovery pill, Xiaojiu, keep it well. I hope you will never need it. The remaining 2 unrecognizable first level pills are also yours. Then the jade boxes were distributed. There were more than 40 jade boxes in total. We have just finished looking through the jade boxes. Most of them are spiritual herbs and medicines. There are 48 first level plants and only 1 second level plant. Xiaojiu, you are an alchemist, so these spiritual herbs are all for you. These pieces of ore will belong to me and Bao. Then Yun Daehao excitedly pointed to the remaining 5 boxes and said, the remaining 5 jade boxes contain 5 element spiritual fruits, 1 for each attribute. I don't know where that evil cultivator got them from. Yes, I just looked through them carefully. There are no clues in the storage bag. There are only some low-level talismans, clothes, etc. The benefits of the 5 element spiritual fruits are endless. They can be taken directly, or used to make medicines and alchemy. If eaten directly, it can improve cultivation. The older the 5-element spiritual fruits are, the richer the spiritual energy they contain, and they can even allow cultivators to advance to a higher realm. Second uncle, how old are the spiritual fruits? Yun Yongzhu said excitedly. They are all 300 years old, Zhao. Yun Yongzhu then knew another reason why the second uncle was excited. It turns out that only when the 5-element spirit fruit is over 300 years old will there be seeds in the fruit. It is also for this reason that there are no 5-element spirit fruit seeds for sale on the market. Even if there are, they are generally not in Yunwu Mountain. Yun Yongzhu got the 5-element spirit fruit seed from Brother He, the owner of Heji Spirit Seed Shop in King Hefang City. He didn't know how Brother He got the seed. At that time, he negotiated to trade with sect points, and one seed cost him 100 sect points. 100 sect points for one spirit seed. Converted into spirit stones, there are about 300 pieces. Just the seeds are so valuable, you can imagine how precious this 5-element spirit fruit is. Even if this seed costs 100 sect points, there are still many people who can afford it, but few cultivators have enough spirit stones and time to support it. For spiritual medicines and plants that have a long growth period like this, generally individuals will not be tempted to plant and cultivate them, unless they are high-level cultivators with a long lifespan. Yun Yongzhu didn't intend to tell Yun Yongzhu that he had planted a 5-element spirit fruit tree in the sect. He was very happy to hear that it was a 300-year-old 5-element spirit fruit. Yun Yongzhu imagined the situation of having 6 5-element spirit fruit trees in the family in the future, and his mouth was wide open. Of course, there is another important reason. It is said that taking a 5-element spirit fruit or 5-element spirit pill with matching attributes can be equivalent to his years or decades of practice. He can even directly advance to the 8th or 9th level of key training. How can he not be happy? However, second uncle, Uncle Tang, what kind of skills are you practicing? I know you are practicing the fire attributed skills. Don't worry, we all have 4 spiritual roots. Abayo practices the wood attributed skills, and I practice the gold attributed skills. Yun Yongzhu breathed a sigh of relief. If you don't eat the 5-element spirit fruit corresponding to the attributes of the skills, the effect will be halved, or even useless. Unfortunately, he did not have the recipe for the 5-element elixir, nor did he have the ability to refine it. Otherwise, one spiritual fruit could be used to refine several pills. Chapter 83 Arrival at Yunzhou. Here, this fire spirit fruit is yours. Yun Yongzhu handed a jade box to Yun Yongzhu, gave another jade box to Tang Bao, and put away a jade box himself. The remaining water spirit fruit and earth spirit fruit should be handed over to the family. Yun Yongzhu wanted to maximize the benefits. Yun Yongzhu glanced at Tang Bao and reminded him tactfully, ahem. Second uncle, you should keep them in your own hands. Aren't you going to take Uncle Tang back to the family? Then you can hand them over to the clan leader in person, as well as the gathering spirit pill. Although there is not much difference between handing them over to the family and handing them over to the clan leader, both can get family contribution points in the end. But the way of handing them over is different, and the impression on the clan members is different. At least it is easier to pass the clan leader's test. For the sake of the gathering spirit pill and the 2 5-element spirit fruits, as well as the 5-element spirit fruit seeds, I hope everything goes well for the 2 of them. Yun Yongzhu suddenly realized something, glanced at Tang Bao, and quickly put away the 2 jade boxes. Then there were the spiritual stones that filled the carriage. The 3 of them took 1 each, and sat in a row to share the fruits. In the end, each person got about 1,500 spiritual stones. Yun Yongzhu took out a small pile of spiritual stones from his pile of spiritual stones, about 500 of them. Second uncle, Uncle Tang, these spiritual stones are for you, don't refuse. First, the second grade inferior recovery pill I got is too valuable. Second, Uncle Tang's second grade inferior golden knife talisman played an indispensable role in successfully killing the evil cultivator in the foundation building period. And the reason why we were able to get the storage bag of this evil cultivator in the foundation building period is also because of your quick reaction. Yun Yongzhu didn't know the specific value of the inferior recovery pill, but it was many times more valuable than 2 bottles of fasting pills and a top grade grass pill, not to mention that he also got 2 unknown first grade pills. The inferior golden knife talisman was worth at least 160 spiritual stones. We couldn't let Uncle Tang work in vain and lose a second grade inferior talisman. Moreover, Yun Yongzhu coveted the evil cultivator's top grade storage bag. He only spoke up about this after his second uncle and Uncle Tang took his spirit stones. Yun Daehao hadn't returned to Yunwu Mountain to collect his annual allowance for more than 10 years, and he didn't have much savings, so he didn't ask Tang Bao's opinion and accepted the small pile of spirit stones. Then we won't be polite. In the end, only the black first grade top grade storage bag and the 21 magic weapons in the storage bag were left. Among the 21 magic weapons, 1 was a spirit weapon shield, and the rest were magic weapons, and most of them were top grade magic weapons, with as many as 11. There were 6 attack magic weapons, 3 defense magic weapons, and 2 flying magic weapons. Among the remaining 9, except for a pair of boots, which was a low grade flying magic weapon, the other 8 were all medium grade magic weapons, 2 defense magic weapons, 2 flying magic weapons, and 5 attack magic weapons. Looking at so many magic weapons with spiritual light in different shapes, it was obvious that the evil cultivator had come to rob. However, these magic tools all look like fine products, and they should have been specially selected by the evil cultivator. Xiaojiu, you go first. Yun Daehao has been taking good care of his nephew since the beginning of the loot sharing meeting. Yun Yongzhu coughed lightly and said embarrassedly, "Second uncle, can I have that storage bag?" Tang Bao generously handed him the evil cultivator's storage bag. "Is there anything else you want?" Yun Yongzhu waved his hands repeatedly and said, "Second uncle, you choose first." He had taken advantage of the big bargain first, and he was embarrassed to pick and choose again. A first-class storage bag is worth 500 spirit stones, and the total value of the 20 magic tools is only about 2,600 spirit stones at most. We are all family, there is no need to hide it. How about this? As an elder, I haven't given you a gift yet, so this flying magic tool is my gift to you. He picked out the feather-shaped magic tool. Seeing that his uncle had said so, Yun Yongzhu no longer hesitated and took the 3 or 4 foot long first grade high quality flying magic weapon. He played with it for a while before putting it in his storage bag. This spiritual weapon shield will be handed over to the family, and the family contribution points we get will be divided equally among the 3 of us. Yun Yongzhu nodded in agreement and continued, Uncle Tang, you can pick 16 of the remaining 19 magic weapons, and leave me 3 medium quality ones. Yun Daehao and Tang Bao looked at each other, and nodded slightly in tacit understanding. The 2 quickly finished selecting the magic weapons, leaving Yun Yongzhu with 3 medium quality magic weapons and a few stacks of talismans. Yun Yongzhu put them away casually and said, "It's getting late. Uncle Tang, you guys go to rest. I'll continue to keep watch." After the 2 lay down and closed their eyes and fell asleep, Yun Yongzhu began to deal with the storage bag he had just received. He probed into this first grade high quality storage bag with his spiritual sense and couldn't help but admire it in his heart. As expected, it was a top grade storage bag. The space was much larger, 3 times the size of his storage bag. The space reached a radius of 3 meters, and the length, width and height were 10 meters. Even if Yun Yongzhu could store an entire small house in it, there would be no problem. Yun Yongzhu didn't have time to make sacrifices, so he put all his belongings into this new top grade storage bag like an ant moving. Finally, he didn't have to put things in several storage bags, and Yun Yongzhu breathed a sigh of relief. He stuffed all the empty storage bags into his arms and calculated his harvest this time. The value of all the elixirs, spiritual medicines, spiritual fruits, magic tools, storage bags, talismans, etc., added together, conservatively estimated, should be 1,500 spiritual stones, and this does not include the 1,000 spiritual stones he got directly. Among all the harvests, the top grade storage bag alone is worth 500 spiritual stones, and the fire spiritual fruit is 300 years old, with a minimum estimated value of 300 spiritual stones. That feather-shaped high-grade flying magic weapon is worth more than 100 spiritual stones, and the 3 medium-grade magic weapons are conservatively estimated to be worth 300 spiritual stones. The first level talismans are divided into 63 pieces, which are also worth about 200 to 300 spiritual stones. In addition, there are the 4 spirit gathering pills, 2 5-element spirit fruits, 5 5-element spirit fruit seeds, and the spirit shield. If they are handed over to the family, they can get at least 3,600 contribution points. He can get 1/3, that is, 1,200 contribution points. Of course, Yun Yongzhu couldn't have only gained these unexpected encounters. When he strangled the evil cultivator alone, he also gained 2 low-grade storage bags. Together with the storage bag of the evil cultivator who killed and attacked him before, there are a total of 3 first-level low-grade storage bags. He knew that his second uncle and others also had other gains, but they were all private. Yun Yongzhu just cleaned up these 3 storage bags while cleaning up. There were few talismans left in them. The 3 storage bags added up to only more than 90 pieces, and half of them were auxiliary talismans. However, there are a lot of magic tools, a total of 16, only 2 of which are top grade, and the rest are all medium and low grade magic tools, all of which are of good quality. In addition, there are some elixirs, spiritual herbs, ores, animal skins and other items. These many miscellaneous items, plus 3 first-level low-grade storage bags, Yun Yongzhu estimated that they are worth more than 2,000 spiritual stones. In short, he undoubtedly reaped a lot from this unexpected attack, and the spoils he got are worth more than 5,000 spiritual stones. No wonder people often say that killing and arson can bring gold belts. So many gains, just in one night, less than an hour, they were in hand, which is much faster than planting spiritual fields or refining elixirs. But even so, Yun Yongzhu will not step into this road of no return. This robbery is not an easy job. He would rather work harder and refine more elixirs to obtain cultivation resources. If you walk by the river often, you will get your shoes wet. Just like these evil cultivators this time, they didn't expect to die in this action. Yun Yongzhu simply packed up all his things, sat cross-legged by the window, and looked at the bright moon in the sky. He was thinking while keeping watch. The night was long and peaceful. The days that followed could be said to be calm, and there were no other emergencies. A month later, the caravan entered the territory of Yun's house smoothly. Second uncle, we have arrived in Yun's house. Yun Yongzhu excitedly shared his feelings with Yun Daehao. Yun Daehao was not much better than him. Both of them had left Yunwu Mountain for more than 10 years, and he was also very excited in his heart. Finally back. Xiaojiu, you can leave the caravan tomorrow. They are going to Yun's house city, which is a bit far from the family, so it is better to get off halfway. I'll listen to you, second uncle. As expected, the two said goodbye to the caravan when they were resting on the stepping cloud east. Senior Yang, we have arrived, and will leave tomorrow. I came to thank you for your support along the way. Who are you? I'm Yun Daehao from Yunwu Mountain, and this is my nephew Yun Yongzhu. Greetings, Senior Yang. Thank you for your protection along the way. So you are the children of the Yun family of Yunwu Mountain. I see. Then you can leave on your own tomorrow. The uncle and nephew bowed respectfully and returned to the carriage of the beast cart. The next morning, the group left the caravan on a sword and flew towards the direction of the Yunwu mountain range. After flying for about 2 hours, the Yunwu mountain range was in sight. Beggar, do you see the largest and highest mountain? That is Yunwu Mountain, where I was born and grew up, and where you will live in the future. Abao, the highest peak there is the mountain gate of our Yun family. We will be there soon. The uncle and nephew excitedly introduced their families to the beggar and Tang Bao. In fact, Yunwu Mountain was still some distance away. The mountainside was shrouded in mist and clouds, and the whole view was not clear at all. Several people sped up, and after a quarter of an hour, Kia finally saw the size of Yunwu Mountain. Wow, this mountain is so high and big, Kia exclaimed at this time. After floating in the air for a while, Yun Yongzhu and Yun Daehao took out their identity jade cards. The two of them each threw the jade cards into the air and saw a thin layer of invisible formation membrane in the air, cracked a big hole. Seeing this, the two took Kiran Tang Bao Bao into the formation, and after a while, the membrane closed again. Feeling that the formation was intact again, Yunde Heo and the others were relieved to take Kiran Tang Bao Bao and slowly fall from the air. Chapter 84 Meeting the Patriarch. Second uncle, where are you going now? Of course I'm taking your Uncle Tang to see the clan leader. Hearing this, Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but admire Yunde Heo. He looked at the beggar and said, then I'll go to the clan leader first and tell him about the beggar. In fact, what Yun Yongzhu wanted to go to most now was the courtyard he had been thinking about for more than 10 years, his home. But since he was already back, it didn't matter. Besides, second uncle was going to take Uncle Tang there too, so he had better go to see the clan leader first, otherwise he was afraid that the clan leader would not be in the mood to see him. Then let's go. After the two of them had agreed, they took the beggar and Tang Bao Bao to Yun Shicheng's cave. When they arrived outside the clan leader's cave, Yun Yongzhu stopped Yunde Heo who wanted to knock on the door. Second uncle, should I take the beggar in first? I have something to talk to the clan leader about first. Yunde Heo remembered the spiritual fruit wine, so he nodded. Okay then, hurry up. Yun Yongzhu breathed a sigh of relief. He was really afraid that his second uncle would have to go see the clan leader first. He used his spiritual power to gently touch the restriction at the door, and once the restriction was opened, he pulled the beggar in. After a few steps, they entered the lobby, and Yun Yongzhu saw the old man sitting on a chair flipping through a book. After not seeing him for 12 years, the clan leader looked a little older than before, but he looked more energetic than before. Clan leader. Yun Shicheng looked up when he heard a strange voice calling him clan leader. He was confused at first, then surprised, and finally turned to joy. He stood up and said 2 words, Zhao Jiu. Yun Shicheng's tone was definitely 99% true. It's me. I'm back. Yun Shicheng walked to Yun Yongzhu's side and looked him up and down. Sure enough, you look exactly like your father. You have reached the 7th level of key training. Sure enough, the resources of the sect are more abundant. By the way, why are you back? How did you get back? Did you encounter any difficulties? Seeing the old man surrounding him and asking questions, Yun Yongzhu had to interrupt him. Clan leader, I just went out of the sect to gain experience and went home to visit my relatives. I'm glad you're okay. Hey, who is this child? Yun Shicheng suddenly saw a timid child from behind Yun Yongzhu. I came to you as soon as I returned to the family. I wanted to report to you about this child. He is an orphan I met on the road. Because he has good cultivation qualifications, I brought him back to the family. Beggar, come. This is the clan leader I told you about. Say hello to the clan leader. Yun Yongzhu pulled the beggar behind him to the front, half bent over, and whispered in his ear. Hello, clan leader grandpa, I'm a beggar. The beggar was a little scared and spoke in a small voice. Beside him, Yun Yongzhu added, clan leader, the beggar has the aptitude of 2 spiritual roots. Yun Shicheng originally thought that he was at most a little orphan with 4 or 5 spiritual roots, and this was not the first case in the family. Suddenly hearing Yun Yongzhu's words, he grabbed his arm in surprise and asked, is this true? His action startled the beggar, and the child immediately hid behind Yun Yongzhu in fear. It's true, I tested it several times. This is really great. Beggar, right? Come here, let me see. Yun Yongzhu pushed the beggar out. Don't worry, brother Nine is here. The clan leader is a very good person. Clan leader. The beggar shouted again with courage. He understood the conversation between the two. It seemed that his spiritual roots were really good. Before, he thought Yun Yongzhu was lying to him. Hey, good boy. Yun Shicheng grinned, and his beard curled up slightly. Before, he was still thinking that it would be difficult to cultivate loyalty and centripetal force for a child of this age. But this child has such a good aptitude for cultivation. No matter how difficult it is not a problem. Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but hold his forehead when he saw this. The clan leader had a flat attitude at first, but now his face wrinkles showed up with a smile, just like a big bad wolf. Clan leader, I have told you the matter, and you have also seen the beggar. What do you think we should do with him? Yun Shicheng thought for a moment and said, he is still illiterate, right? We need to teach him the basics of cultivation as soon as possible, and he needs to be included in the clan tree in the clan school. This is a big deal, and I have to talk to my 25th uncle about it. Clan leader, I have taught him for 3 or 4 months on the way here. The beggar can recognize the basic commonly used characters, but he can't write them very well. I also talked to him about the meridians, acupuncture points, danshan, etc. of the human body, but the time was too short, so he may not remember some of them. My ability is limited, and I didn't teach him some of the knowledge. Yun Yongzhu said that he had tried his best. He felt that he did not have the talent to teach and educate people, so he should leave it to the capable people in the family. It's okay, leave it to me. Well, you take the beggar back to your home first, and I will go to my 25th uncle's place today. If I can meet my 25th uncle, he will probably be included in the family tree in the next 2 days. After he's included in the family tree, I will arrange other things slowly. It will not be more than 5 days at the latest, and I will arrange for the beggar. Yun Shichen couldn't wait to go out to Yun Zuxun. Clan leader, don't worry, the beggar won't run away. I'll take him home first. There are people outside looking for you. You should see him first, before going to the 25th master. Who else is looking for me? You'll know when you see him. He has good news to tell you. You should be mentally prepared. After saying it openly, he secretly transmitted his voice. Clan leader, I have another big happy event here, but this matter is too important. I want to wait until I finish the beggar's business and go to see the 25th master with you. We'll talk about it then. Yun Yongzhu kept the beggar in suspense for 2 consecutive times and then pulled the beggar out of Yun Shichen's cave. Second uncle, I finished talking about everything here. You can go in. The clan leader is waiting inside. Watching the 2 people walk into the yard, Yun Yongzhu silently blessed them in his heart, hoping to use the clan leader's joy to settle their affairs. Let's go, beggar, let's go home. Yun Yongzhu took the beggar and flew into the sky and soon returned to the place he had been dreaming about. Yun Yongzhu thought about this place thousands of times. After 12 years, he finally came back. Yun Yongzhu stood at the door of his house, but he didn't go in. He was filled with complicated emotions. After being away from home for many years, he didn't know what his mother had become, and his younger brother Bear and his 2 younger brothers who he had never met. However, he was mostly happy in his heart. He didn't know what kind of surprise his parents were to see him. Yun Yongzhu took a deep breath, took out the forbidden pass that had not been used for many years, and waved it at the door. Sure enough, his father did not change the forbidden. He led the beggar over the threshold, entered the lobby, passed the corridor, and walked into the backyard. The yard was quiet. Yun Yongzhu ran to the side yard where Yang Liu often drew talismans and looked around. There was no one. He went to his parents' practice room and living room to check, but there was no one there. Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but shout loudly, "Dad, Mom, are you home?" No one responded. Even Yun Yongzhu's family of 4 was not there. He sat on the stone table in the yard and couldn't help but think wildly. Could something have happened? But the clan leader didn't look like anything had happened just now. Could it be that the beggar's story made him too happy? No. If there was something wrong, the 25th great uncle would have gone to King Shinsek to tell him. 9th brother, what's wrong with you? The beggar's voice interrupted Yun Yongzhu's wild thoughts. He couldn't help but laugh at himself. He was just not at home. Maybe they were out doing something. It's okay. It's just that 9th brother's parents went out for something. Otherwise, the beggar would have seen them. Yun Yongzhu was talking to the beggar when suddenly a familiar pleasant female voice came from outside the yard. Son. Chapter 85 Mother's Changes. Yun Yongzhu turned around and saw a beautiful woman in a green dress looking at him with tears in her eyes. This person was Yang Liu, Yun Yongzhu's mother whom he missed day and night. She recognized her eldest son whom she had not seen for more than 10 years, just by looking at his back. Mom. Yun Yongzhu had 1,000 words to say to her, but in the end, it just turned into the most ordinary name. Hearing this young man who looked 80% like her husband calling her mom, Yang Liu finally couldn't control her emotions. She rushed over and hugged Yun Yongzhu. Yun Yongzhu also hugged the woman who rushed to him tightly. He hugged her and could clearly recall the way she hugged him, kissed him, teased him, and was anxious when he didn't drink milk. The past was vivid in his mind, and this embrace was always so reassuring. Although Yun Yongzhu has grown up now, he can no longer snuggle in her arms like before. He held his mother in his arms, and felt that she was so thin. Yun Yongzhu was immersed in his memories, feeling full of emotion, but Yang Liu had recovered and shattered his fantasy. She pushed Yun Yongzhu's arms away, jumped up and grabbed his ears. "You little brat, you've grown up, you've grown up, you dare to run so far alone and come back. Tell me the truth, how did you come back?" Yun Yongzhu felt that he was completely overthinking. How could his mother be weak? "Mom, let me go first, it hurts." In fact, Yang Liu was reluctant to use force, but Yun Yongzhu just wanted to shout like this to make his mother feel distressed. Sure enough, Yang Liu let go of Yun Yongzhu. "Hurry up and tell me." "Mom, don't worry, I came back on the sect's merchant ship, I'm safe." Which evil cultivator who doesn't care about his life dares to pay attention to the Qingshan sect? Really? 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 More eel than pearls? Yun Yongzhu nodded repeatedly. "Mom, let's not talk about this for now. I'll introduce someone to you." Yun Yongzhu pulled the beggar in front of Yang Liu. Before he could say anything, he was shocked by what she said next. "Don't tell me, this is my grandson." "Mom, what are you talking about? How old am I? Where did such a big son come from?" Yun Yongzhu simply didn't know what his mother was thinking. He hadn't seen her for more than 10 years, and she had changed so much. Although his mother was more lively and liked to tease him before, she had never pulled his ears, and her brain circuits were not so strange and cute. If Yang Liu's soul breath had not changed, Yun Yongzhu would have suspected that she had been possessed. "Just kidding, you can't even tell, it's so funny." Yang Liu stood on tiptoe, put her hands on Yun Yongzhu's cheeks, and rubbed them back and forth. "Mom, I'm grown up, why do you still like to rub my face?" Although he said so, Yun Yongzhu did not avoid it. "No matter how old you are still my son. I can rub you and kiss you if I want." Before Yang Liu could kiss him, Yun Yongzhu dodged him. "Madam, who do you want to kiss?" Yun Yongzhu had already noticed that his father, Yun Dachan, had returned. Although he was asking Yang Liu, he was looking at Yun Yongzhu. Therefore, he would not stand there stupidly and be flirted with by his mother. "Dad, I'm back." "Yes, I saw it." Yun Dachan was much better than Yang Liu, but from his clenched fists, it could be guessed that he was not at peace. "Whose child is this? Why haven't you seen him before?" Yun Dachan saw his father asking, and quickly turned the topic back to the beggar. "Dad, his name is Beggar, I brought him back. I picked him up on the way back, and he has a very good aptitude for cultivation. I just took him to see the clan leader. He said he would talk to the 25th grandfather, and then he would be listed in the family tree. Could it be that Beggar has the aptitude of 3 spiritual roots?" Yun Dachan heard that the clan leader was going to tell the elders in the foundation building stage of the clan about this matter, so he guessed. "No." Yun Yongzhu shook his head. Yang Liu said, "His father, how can it be so easy to have 3 spiritual roots?" Yun Yongzhu continued, "It's 2 spiritual roots." "What?" Yang Liu was shocked by the 3 words 2 spiritual roots that Yun Yongzhu said before she finished speaking. Yun Dachan also looked at the child next to Yun Yongzhu in surprise. "Beggar, come and meet my parents. You can call them Uncle 5 and Aunt 5. Hello Uncle 5, hello Aunt 5. Maybe because these were Yun Yongzhu's parents, Beggar did not hesitate and gave them a junior salute. Yun Yongzhu was also surprised. When he met the clan leader just now, the beggar was not so generous. "Okay, no need to be polite." Yun Dachan and his wife hurriedly helped the beggar up. This was the treasure their son had found. "Zua, does the beggar want to live in our house?" "Yes, after a few days, after entering the family tree, I will go to the clan school to learn cultivation knowledge. Then live in your yard first. There are 2 large rooms in your yard. I'll go and clean it up." "Mom, I'll clean it up by myself later. Let's sit down and talk. I haven't seen you for a long time." Yun Yongzhu said the latter part with a slightly coquettish tone. He was doted on by his parents since he was born. He was captured by family affection very early. Yun Yongzhu also recognized this pair of parents from the bottom of his heart. so he would naturally act like a spoiled child to his parents, especially to his mother Yang Lia. Yang Lia hadn't seen her eldest son for many years and missed him very much. How could she refuse her eldest son? Okay, it's just a matter of the dust removal technique. I haven't had a good look at my baby for more than 10 years. You've grown up so big. Come on, Zua, sit down and let your mother take a good look at you. Yang Lia pulled Yun Yongzhu to sit on the stone bench, holding his hand and patting it. Tell your mother about your experience in the sect, one thing at a time. On the other side, Father Yun did not ignore the beggar. He invited the child to sit on the other side of the stone table. Beggar, where did you meet Zua? While talking, he took out a small plate of cakes from his storage bag. This is made by your fifth aunt. It tastes good. You can fill your stomach first. Thank you, fifth uncle. I grew up in Yang City. Once I stole something on the street and stole it from my ninth brother. The beggar honestly told the story of his encounter with Yun Yongzhu, occasionally taking a bite of the cake in his hand. The four people sat in the yard, talking to each other, and they all seemed to be having a good time. Yun Yongzhu told his mother in detail about the things that happened after he arrived at Qingshan sect. He changed his cultivation method, hired Wang Yiming, opened up spiritual fields, practiced magic, refined pills for the first time, participated in the king meeting, bought the soul-devouring golden cicada, advanced in cultivation, broke through to the late stage of key training, etc. Yun Yongzhu told her everything in detail, especially when it came to pills. Yun Yongzhu took out the pills he had refined one by one to show Yang Lia. Yang Lia looked at the pill jade bottle on the stone table, feeling both happy and jealous. It was for this that her eldest son left her and ran to Qingshan sect thousands of miles away. Mom, you can tell from these pills that I'm pretty good at alchemy and my success rate and quality are pretty good. Mom, in order to be able to cultivate to a high level in the future and for the family to grow stronger, I don't regret going to Qingshan sect. Hearing Yun Yongzhu say this, Yang Lia was happy. She touched Yun Yongzhu's head and said, as long as you don't regret it, I just hope you're safe outside, and I don't ask for anything else. Yun Yongzhu was deeply moved. He actually knew that his parents wanted him to stay in the family so that he could grow up safely under their eyes. However, his parents also knew that there was no practice in the family that could cultivate to the golden core stage, and Yun Yongzhu had the qualifications of 3 spiritual roots, so they had to let him go out to try. In fact, it was right to send him to the sect. His talent for alchemy was outstanding, and with the alchemy, he had a greater hope of building a foundation. Now Yun Yongzhu has reached the 7th level of key training. Even without the help of foundation building spiritual objects, he has the opportunity to impact the foundation by himself before the age of 60. If he gets another spiritual item for foundation building, his chances of building a foundation will be greatly increased. Chapter 86 Proposal. The beggar had already said that he had encountered danger on the way here. Yun Yongzhu had just heard a hint and quickly interrupted him. Dad, Mom, I haven't seen my 3 younger brothers since I came back. Aina and Kanja should be in the clan school. Why is Bayer not at home? Yun Daehyo said. Bayer is 16 years old this year. He just came out of the clan school 3 months ago. He stayed at home for less than 2 days before accepting the family's task to look after 2 acres of spiritual fields at the foot of the mountain. Now he is a first level lower grade talisman maker. While taking care of the spiritual rice in the spiritual field, he also makes talismans and builds a small courtyard next to the spiritual field. He rarely goes home on weekdays. Yang Lia pretended to be sad and said, Bayer, this little heartless boy, stayed at home for less than 2 days and abandoned his poor old parents. Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but frown. Where did his mother learn this? Why is there so much drama? Dad and Mom, why don't you call all the younger brothers home today and have a meal together as a family? Yun Yongzhu's proposal was strongly supported by Yun's father and mother. Zua, your idea is good. I was just thinking about it. You finally came back. You should have a reunion. It's time to have a good reunion. The twins haven't seen their eldest brother yet. It's getting late. I'll send 2 sound transmission nodes to call them home. Lila, go to the kitchen to make some spiritual rice. I'll help you right away. Zua, go and clean up the room for the beggar. Yun Daichin made arrangements directly. Yang Liu and Yun Yongzhu then got busy according to Yun Daichen's instructions. Yun Yongzhu took the beggar and walked straight to his own small courtyard. He didn't go to his room first, but went directly to the east wing. This is a very large room. Opposite the door is an exquisite screen with clouds embroidered in various colors. Outside the screen is a square table with 4 chairs under the square table. This place can be used to entertain close guests. The two of them looked over the screen from the side and saw a large bed 2 meters long and wide, with 2 small storage boxes at the head of the bed. There are 2 large wardrobes on the left side of the bed and a wooden table on the right side. There is only a glass mirror on the wooden table, and nightlight pearl lamps covered with black cloth are placed in the 4 corners. The room is very bright, because this room not only has normal windows, but also a skylight on the roof. The skylight is made of a whole piece of pure glass, and sunlight can shine in. When Yun Yongzhu was a child, he found that many items here were beyond this era, indicating that the productivity level of this world was very high. But social customs have not made much progress, and the entire continent is under feudal rule. For example, the glass mirror on the table and the large glass on the skylight are actually artificial glass, but the name is different. Yun Yongzhu once wondered why the social system did not progress with the improvement of productivity. Later, when he started practicing, he put this question behind him. Yun Yongzhu quickly pinched out a dust removal technique, and a breeze blew across all places in the room, rolling up a dust bowl the size of a glass bead. Seeing that the house was clean and new, he nodded with satisfaction and said to the beggar next to him, "Beggar, you should bear with it and stay here for a few days. Once you are included in the family tree, you can go to the family school, and then you can have your own small courtyard." Brother Jiu, how can I feel wronged? It's so nice here. I'm very happy to live here. Yun Yongzhu smiled and said, "It's good that you don't feel wronged." Then he walked to a large wardrobe, opened the cabinet, took out a set of bedding, and tore off the yellow talisman on it. "This bedding was prepared by my mother. It is clean. Smell it and it still smells like sunshine. Now that the weather is not cold, I will take out a set for you." Yun Yongzhu spread one set of bedding on the bed and put another on the quilt. He talked to the beggar while making the bed. "By the way, beggar, there are some clothes in the closet that my mother made for me when I was a child. These are rarely worn. You can tear off the yellow talismans on the clothes and you can wear them. The size should be just right now. This yellow talisman is a life-aiding talisman, a first-level talisman that can prevent dust and moisture." When he was a child, Yang Liu made a lot of clothes for Yun Yongzhu, but Yun Yongzhu was not a dress-up person, and many of the clothes were never worn and were kept. They should have been packed and sealed by Yang Liu. Thank you's reward, thank you's reward. Chapter 87 Brothers Meet. Nineth brother, 5th aunt is so good to you. The beggar's tone was full of envy. Before, in the yard, he saw Yang Liu caring for Yun Yongzhu. This was something he could never dream of. Although he had many brothers and sisters, he had never enjoyed the care and love of his parents. The beggar was so envious that Yun Daichen often asked about Yun Yongzhu when they talked. "Yes, my mother is really good to me." Yun Yongzhu was very satisfied with his parents' care and concern. He was also an orphan in his previous life, so he could understand and empathize with the beggar's psychology. But although he noticed the beggar's envy, he had no choice. He couldn't conjure up a pair of parents for him. However, Yun Yongzhu had a vague idea in his mind, but he had to wait until he asked his parents. "The room is ready. You can take a rest here first. I will call you in half an hour. Oh, by the way, my room is just to the right. You can find me there if you have anything." "Okay, brother Jiu, you can go and take a rest too." Yun Yongzhu came out of the east wing and walked to the right of the corridor. When he reached the end, he turned left again. In a few steps, he arrived at the door of his room. This was the room he usually lived in when he was at home. This room was different from the east wing. There were no tables and chairs in it. As soon as you entered the door and crossed the screen, there was a big bed with sunlight shining on it obliquely. As soon as Yun Yongzhu entered, he found that it was as clean as new. I think it was because his mother Yang Liu often came to clean. He took off his shoes and threw himself on the bed. Yun Yongzhu sighed comfortably. He really missed this big bed. He relaxed, immersed in the comfortable feeling, and gradually fell asleep. After half a year, he finally got home. He was too nervous for more than half a year. About half an hour later, Yun Yongzhu woke up refreshed. He put on his shoes, put the toothed grass in his mouth and chewed it, and then washed his face with the water bowl technique. After tidying himself up, Yun Yongzhu went out to the east wing to find the beggar. The beggar slept more soundly than he did, and Yun Yongzhu knocked for a long time before he came to open the door. "Beggar, wash your face quickly." Yun Yongzhu flicked a water ball into the wash basin. After the two of them had tidied up, they went to the yard of Yun's father and mother. When they arrived, Yun Dachan and the others had already prepared a large table of food. "Zua, beggar, you sit down first. Your mother is cooking spiritual rice, and Bear and the others should be here soon." Yun Yongzhu looked at the table full of delicacies and his mouth was about to flow out. "Wow. Dad, there are so many dishes today." He also saw 2 spiritual cloud chickens. You know, Yun's father and mother are both thrifty people. Lingayan chickens are the heroes of egg laying. Unless they can no longer lay eggs, we will not be willing to kill them and eat their chicken. There are many people today, so we have to cook so many dishes. Besides, today is the big day for you and the beggar to go home. Not long after, a crane cry suddenly came from the sky above the yard, and then a boy of 15 or 16 years old flew down from the sky above the yard, with white clothes and a flowing hairband. The beggar looked at him and screamed wow. As a result, when the boy was about to land, a white cloud caught him steadily. This person was Yun Yongzhu's second brother Yun Yongbei. His face shape was exactly the same as Yun Dachan, but the shadow of Yang Liu could be vaguely seen between his eyebrows. Yun Yongbei had just stopped and saw Yun Yongzhu. When he looked up, he excitedly rushed over and called him big brother. Yun Yongzhu also happily patted his thin shoulders and asked, "Bear, do you still remember me?" The answer was the opposite. "Brother, it's been more than 10 years. How can I still remember what you look like? I just remember you taking me flying in the sky when I was a kid. However, you look so much like Dad. Who else could it be but my brother?" Yun Yongzhu was speechless. He really looked like his father. "Bear, you still like being in the sky so much. Your action just now scared the beggar." "Beggar?" Before Yun Yongzhu could explain, 2 more crane calls came. 2 white cranes were seen circling in the sky above the courtyard. Father Yun waved his hand and closed the protective ban over the courtyard. 2 white cranes carrying 2 small figures slowly landed. These were 2 identical children, wearing white robes with auspicious cloud patterns issued by the Yun clan, and wearing the same headband on the forehead as the beggar's head. They both looked like Yang Liu, and if it weren't for the slightly different spirit and aura, it would be difficult to tell their identities. As soon as the 2 jumped off the white crane, they shouted Dad in unison. Then they surrounded Yun Yongzhu intimately. "You are the eldest brother, I'm Yun Yonggan. You are the eldest brother, I'm Yun Yongkang." Yun Yongzhu was amused by the way they spoke. "Third brother, fourth brother, hello, I'm your eldest brother Yun Yongzhu. Do you always talk like this?" The twins looked at each other, smiled and said together, "Yes. Haha. You are so funny. It is our honor to make the eldest brother happy. It is our honor to make the eldest brother happy. Thank you eldest brother for the crane egg you gave us. Thank you eldest brother for the crane egg you gave us." Yun Yongbei also interrupted to thank Yun Yongzhu. "Brother, thank you for the crane egg you gave me. I really like this gift. I guessed you would like it. Thank you for your award. Thank you for your award." Chapter 88 Family Reunion 1. Yun Dachan looked at the 4 brothers standing together. They were not unfamiliar with each other because they had not seen each other for a long time. They were friendly and respectful to each other. He was very pleased. The 4 of them gathered together and talked happily. Kia stood by and watched with envy. Yun Yongzhu saw him out of the corner of his eye, so he pulled him in. "Second brother, third brother, fourth brother, this is Kia, the younger brother I brought back. Kia, these are my younger brothers. You can just call them brothers, just like calling me, I told you." Kia then greeted loudly and enthusiastically. 13th brother, 18th brother, 19th brother, hello, I'm Kia. Beggar will be included in the family tree in a few days. He will be ranked in the young generation. When the time comes, it depends on which generation he is ranked. Maybe you two can only be brothers for a few days. Yun Yongzhu was referring to Jiangan and Yang. The age of the beggar is a mystery, and no one knows exactly how old he is, but he may be about the same age as the third and fourth brothers. The three of them had a very good impression of Yun Yongzhu, and naturally they were also very good to the new brother he brought back. Hello, brother beggar. Hello, beggar. Yun Dachan interrupted their conversation while they were talking. Okay, come sit down, you'll have plenty of time to get to know each other later. It turned out that Yang Lila had already cooked the spiritual rice. She was carrying a large bucket of spiritual rice from the kitchen. Yun Dachan quickly ran over to take it and put it on the empty stone table next to it. A total of 7 people sat down around the stone table. Fortunately, the table was big enough. Before starting, Yun Yongzhu took out a large plate of King Feng deer jerky and then took out a jar of spiritual fruit wine. Dad, Mom, this is the jerky made from the spiritual deer meat I hunted myself, and the fruit wine I brewed myself. Yun Yongzhu opened the spiritual fruit wine and poured it into the small bowls in front of each person. I'm happy today, so I'll allow you 3 to drink this little bit, and there's no more. Although it was spiritual fruit wine, it also had a certain degree, and beggar had not yet cultivated. Yun Yongzhu only poured 2 or 3 mouthfuls for beggar, Aina and Kanja. Come on. Raise your glasses. Cheers to reunion. Yun Yongzhu picked up the wine bowl in front of him, and everyone followed suit and picked up their small bowls. Cheers to reunion. After taking a sip of the spiritual fruit wine, Yang Lia's eyes lit up. Zua, your spiritual fruit wine is good. It tastes good, and it contains a lot of spiritual energy. Mom, try this venison. It tastes even better. There were 3 children here, and Yun Yongzhu didn't want to talk about the spiritual fruit wine. Yun Dachan also praised, well, this venison is good, it has plenty of spiritual energy, and it nourishes the yin and kidneys. Lila, eat more. Bear, Zua, you two should eat less. As soon as Yun Dachan ate the spiritual deer meat, he realized the mystery of it. As for the other 3, Yun Dachan didn't need to explain. Even if they wanted to eat, it would be very difficult. Yang Lila picked up a piece of spiritual beast meat she made with chopsticks and gave it to Yun Yongzhu and picked up another piece for the beggar. Zua, Kia, try my cooking. Mom, have you learned the cooking skills of Lingshan? How come the spiritual energy in it is not lost? How can there be any Lingshan cooking skills? It's just a little trick that I have slowly figured out over the years. It's much worse than Lingshan, and the spiritual energy in it is only locked up a little bit. Even so, it is rare. Kia has not practiced yet and can't feel the spiritual energy, so he directly praised the taste. 5th aunt, the meat you cook is delicious. Mom, your spiritual tofu has improved. Mom is partial. When my brother comes back, he makes billing rice. We have told him so many times that she won't make it for us. Mom is partial. When my brother comes back, he makes billing rice. We have told him so many times that she won't make it for us. Yun Yongzhu was shocked. They could do it in sync. How am I partial? You two are naughty every day. Besides, you eat billing rice every day. Do you think the spiritual stones in your home are blown by the wind? Yang Lila was not happy. These 2 naughty kids didn't practice well in the clan school every day. They just ran around in the mountains, chasing chickens and teasing animals. Okay, today is a happy day, let's not quarrel. Father Yun came out to smooth things over. In fact, there was no sign of quarreling at all. Today, Yun Yongzhu came back, and Yang Lila was in such a good mood. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89 Family Reunion 2. Zua, eat this. Big brother, eat this. Big brother, try this. Big brother, try this. Beggar, take the food yourself, don't be polite. Everyone greeted Yun Yongzhu and beggar. The 7 people ate the spiritual food and spiritual meal while talking about light and pleasant topics. For example, the story of beggar meeting Yun Yongzhu, the story of Yun Yongbei and his 3 brothers hatching the spiritual crane eggs, An hour later, the 7 people swept away a large table of spiritual food and a large pot of green spiritual rice. Even the spiritual deer meat and spiritual fruit wine that Yun Yongzhu brought out were eaten and drunk. Yang Lia stroked her belly and said jokingly, "Do I look like I'm pregnant again?" Haha. Everyone laughed. "Mom, if you get pregnant again, please give us a sister. Mom, if you get pregnant again, please give us a sister." Yun Yongzhu and Yun Yongbei also nodded in agreement. There were too many men in the family. Go, stop teasing us. It's already past dusk. Go back to your own yards to digest your food and go to sleep. Wait, I have some gifts here. It's not too late to go back after you get your gifts. Yun Yongzhu took out the gifts that he had prepared long ago one by one. When Yongbei and the other two heard that there were gifts, their eyes lit up. 6 eyes stared at Yun Yongzhu's movements. "Mom, this is for you. It's a pill that all women dream of. Can you recognize it? This is the Dingan pill refined in Yongzhou City." Liu Kai and Qian took one, and the remaining one was kept by Yun Yongzhu. At that time, he thought of his mother Yang Lia. "What kind of pill is it? It's so mysterious." Yang Lia took the jade bottle handed to her by Yun Yongzhu, pulled out the cork, and a strange fragrance floated into her nose. She had never smelled this smell, and couldn't recognize it, so she poured the pill into her palm. This was a special pill with a pink and white color. She asked Yun Yongzhu excitedly and hesitantly, "Son, is this the legendary Dingan pill?" "Mom, you have a good eye. It's Dingan pill." "Ah, it's really Dingan pill. Where did you get it from? Which woman doesn't love beauty?" Even women who have embarked on the path of cultivation, their love of beauty is no less than that of ordinary people. In fact, many male cultivators also hope to stay young forever. Yang Lia is now 50 years old, but she still looks less than 30 years old and looks more like Yun Yongzhu's sister. This is because she often uses spiritual medicine for maintenance, but even if she maintains herself well, it is difficult for female cultivators with poor family backgrounds to maintain their youthful appearance once they are over 60 years old. "Mom, take it quickly." "But I just ate so much, it won't have any effect, right?" "No, eat it. If it doesn't work, I'll refine another furnace." "Did you refine this? You still have a batch of ingredients?" "Yes. Son, you are so great." Yang Lia kissed her son's handsome face. Yun Yongzhu looked at his father helplessly, using his eyes to indicate that it was his mother who wanted to flirt with him. But his mother was really something. She didn't praise him like that even before she knew that he could refine the top grade key gathering pill. "Dad, this is for you. It's a bottle of top grade key gathering pill. With the help of these pills, your cultivation speed will be much faster. And you guys, 1 bottle each, with 2 top grade key gathering pills." The aptitude and resources for cultivation are really important. Yun Yongzhu broke through to the 4th level of key training at the age of 10, and Yun Yongbei has only advanced to the 4th level of key training at the age of 16. As for Yun Yongzhu's 3rd and 4th brothers, they are only 8 years old. With the aptitude of 5 spiritual roots, they have cultivated to the 2nd level of key training. Yun Yongzhu guessed that the 3,000 spirit stones he gave to his father a few years ago, except for the cost of buying the Kurun pill for his mother, the remaining few spirit stones should have been used on his 3 younger brothers. "Beggar, you have one too. You can take it after you enter the 1st level of key training." Yun Yongzhu didn't actually prepare a gift for the beggar, but since everyone had one, it wouldn't be good to leave him empty-handed. He had just handed the beggar a small jade bottle containing 3 top grade key gathering pills when he heard his father's questioning words. "Top grade key gathering pills." Yun Daichen and Yang Lia looked at Yun Yongzhu in confusion. Yun Yongbei and the twins had never heard of top grade key gathering pills, and they also looked at him with curiosity. Yun Yongzhu then explained to them the rarity and efficacy of top grade pills. It is worth mentioning that, since Yun Yongzhu experienced the pill enlightenment, his success rate in refining pills has not improved much, but the quality of the pills has improved by leaps and bounds. Take key gathering pills as an example, his success rate has exceeded 30%, and 1 furnace of materials can produce 5 or 6 pills. Moreover, among these 5 or 6 key gathering pills, there will always be 1 or 2 medium grade pills. After opening the furnace 3 or 5 times, 1 or 2 top grade pills will surely be refined. This is also the main reason why Yun Yongzhu can take out so many high grade key gathering pills at one time. Although Bayer and the other 3 were very happy about this gift, they were not very surprised. After all, they have spiritual veins in their family and their father's unremitting support, so they never feel that they lack resources for cultivation. At this time, when they heard that the efficacy of this top grade key gathering pill was twice that of the high grade key gathering pill, and it could be taken continuously, they were immediately excited and held the small J bottle in their hands tightly. Yun Dachan and Yang Lia were even more happy about their eldest son's achievement in alchemy. In addition to the pills, I also bought some local spiritual objects and fruits on the way back. The grade is not high, and the spiritual energy contained is not much, but the taste is not bad. Yun Yongzhu took out some of the specialties he bought along the way, and gave them to his father, and then divided some among the other 4. Okay, that's all. Everyone go back to your own yard. Beggar, I have something to say to my parents. You go back first. Do you remember the way? 9th brother, I remember the way. So the 3 little guys and Yun Yongbei said goodbye to Yun Dachan and Yang Liu respectively. Chapter 90 Father and Son Night Talk. After the 4 people left, Yun Yongzhu's parents sat down. He said carefully, Dad, Mom, there is something I want to ask your opinions on. The couple looked at each other, and Yun Dachan asked, what is it? Tell me. It's like this, the beggar will be included in the family tree in a few days. I want to ask if I can put him in your name, let you recognize him as your son, and let him be my brother? Of course it's okay, but have you asked the beggar's opinion? Yun Yongzhu shook his head. Not yet, I have to ask my parents' opinion before I tell the beggar. If you two don't agree, I'm afraid that if I tell him in advance, he will be very disappointed. Yang Lia said, we too are eager to have such an excellent son, and he is so well behaved. So you can take time to talk to the beggar tomorrow and see what he means. Yun Yongzhu nodded happily. As long as his parents agreed to this matter, the beggar would have nothing to worry about. Nothing happened, right? I'll clean up the table first. Yang Lia collected all the dishes and wooden barrels, put them into the storage bag, and went to the kitchen. When the 2 saw Yang Lia leave, they started a conversation between men. Zua, you are really bold this time. You dare to come back so far alone. Yun Dachan said in a disapproving tone. Dad, didn't you say that I should experience some experience? I listened to you and went out of the sect to experience some experience. Yun Yongzhu said cunningly. Besides, I didn't come back alone. I came back on the sect's merchant ship, and I was traveling with my second uncle halfway. When Yun Yongzhu mentioned this, Yun Dachan's face became strange. How dare you mention my second brother? Do you think I don't know what you encountered on the road? The beggar told me just now, but I didn't ask about it because I thought your mother was there. It turned out that his father still found out, so Yun Yongzhu had to tell the whole story. He told in detail about the encounter with the 5 evil cultivators in the foundation building period. Yun Dachan couldn't help but get nervous when he heard about his son being attacked by a key training evil cultivator. But when he heard that Yun Yongzhu had killed him, he couldn't help but relax. Zua, although you were lucky enough to kill a foundation building cultivator this time, don't underestimate the foundation building cultivators because of this incident. Yun Dachan solemnly warned his son, fearing that he would act rashly in the future. Dad, I know that the reason why he killed the foundation building evil cultivator this time was mainly because he was besieged by us and consumed most of his cultivation. Luck also played a big role. It's good that you know. By the way, do you know what your second uncle came back for this time? Second brother hasn't been back to the family for almost 10 years. Yun Yongzhu thought of Uncle Tang and his second uncle. He didn't know what his second uncle had said to the clan leader, and whether things went smoothly. Second uncle brought a confidant back. After returning, he went to see the clan leader. I don't know what it was about. Why do you say too much about the elders' affairs? Let your father find out for himself. By the way, Dad, I want to ask what kind of skills my third and fourth brothers practice? They are so in tune with each other, so practicing special skills should have miraculous effects, right? Seeing Yun Yongzhu talking about his twin sons, Yun Dachin sighed. His eyes were deep, as if he was recalling something, and it took him a long time to come back to his senses. Of course I know there is such a special skill. Aina and Kanja can complement each other after practicing, but this kind of skill is not something that a small family like our Yun family has. It turned out that after the twins' 5 spiritual roots were detected, the family noticed their situation. Yun Yonggan and Yun Yongkang grew up together. In addition to their looks, their thinking and behavior are all exactly the same, and they always say what they want to say in unison. Even their tones are exactly the same. If it weren't for their different personalities and hobbies, even their closest parents would find it difficult to recognize them. These 2 boys are naughty. They specially ask someone to make identical clothes for them. They often run around the mountains dressed exactly the same to tease others. Even now, your mother and I occasionally mistake them for each other. 25th uncle also said that, if a special technique can be found, their hope of building a foundation will increase greatly. Unfortunately, the family has been inquiring for more than 2 years, but has not gained anything. Now they are practicing the family's eternal life secret. Although this technique is not very powerful, it is relatively simple, and has the miraculous effect of prolonging life. Dad, I know about this, and I will pay more attention to it. Just don't delay your own practice. No. Son, how long can you stay in the family this time? I haven't thought about it yet. The sect doesn't have too many restrictions on inner disciples. But you have to complete the sect's tasks every once in a while. Let's decide when the time comes. Okay, I know. You just need to know it. Dad, after the beggar is included in the family tree, you must take better care of him, and don't let him feel like an outsider. If the beggar hadn't died in the middle of the journey, our family would have very likely become the Jinden family of Yongzhou in the future. Although Yun Yongzhu himself had the ambition to form a golden elixir, it was still unknown whether he could build a foundation. But the beggar was different. With his 2nd spiritual root qualification, building a foundation was a foregone conclusion, and there was a great chance of forming a golden elixir. You don't need to tell me that. Your mother and I know what to do. Also, you and your mother must never tell anyone about the beggar's qualification. If someone asks, you can't explain it clearly. No, just say it's 3 spiritual roots. Yun Yongzhu suddenly felt that he had not considered it carefully and should not have told his parents about the beggar's qualification. He remembered that, when he was a child, he led the key into his body 2 months in advance. Even such a small matter had to be handled with caution, not to mention such a big thing as the appearance of a genius with 2 spiritual roots in the family. Once this matter is known to everyone in the family, it will surely spread throughout Yongzhou. By then, it is not certain whether this matter is good or bad for the family. When Father Yun heard Yun Yongzhu's words, he understood what he meant and nodded seriously, saying, Zua, don't worry, I will tell your mother, and will not tell anyone. By the way, Dad, did you continue to practice alchemy after you came back? Seeing Yun Yongzhu asking this, Yun Dachin said happily, after more than 3 years of practice, your dad can now refine a 1st level lower grade key gathering pill, with a success rate of more than 10%, and 2 pills each time. Yun Yongzhu did not expect that his dad's talent for alchemy was not bad, and he could refine key gathering pills so quickly. Dad, this success rate is quite good. It seems that you have a good talent for alchemy. If you work harder and improve the success rate, you can refine pills and sell them for profit, or refine pills for the family. The materials for a key gathering pill require at least 20 spirit stones. If 2 lower grade pills are made, 4 spirit stones will be lost. At most, it can only be provided to the alchemist himself, and it will be difficult to refine for others. However, Yun Yongzhu was not lying. Many cultivators in the sect, relying on the teachings of their predecessors, had a similar success rate in alchemy as Yun Dachin. Yes, so I plan to continue practicing alchemy. Yun Yongzhu was very happy. Dad, you have to work hard. Here, I will support you with another 500 spirit stones. You can't spend it on those little ones anymore. Also, please copy the latest version of Yongzhu memorandum. Yun Dachin put the Yongzhu memorandum into the storage bag and pushed the spirit stones back into Yun Yongzhu's arms. Son, you don't need spirit stones. You are now at the 7th level of key training and need spirit stones more than I do. Just take it. If I give it to you. You are so polite to your own son. If your son wants to earn spirit stones now, it's easy. This is not Yun Yongzhu bragging. With his current alchemy skills, as long as he takes on more private jobs, or finds more pills for sale, he will be able to earn a lot of spirit stone resources soon. Yun Daichen was just refusing when Yang Lia came back. What are you two still talking about? It's almost midnight. Seeing his mother coming over, Yun Yongzhu put a bag of spirit stones in her hand. Mom, these are the spirit stones I gave to Dad to practice alchemy. Dad won't take them. It's okay, I'll take them. You go and have a rest. Yun Yongzhu said goodbye to his parents and heard his mother persuading his father as he walked. You stupid guy, if you could improve the success rate of the pill sooner, you could help Zua and the others sooner, and Zua wouldn't have to worry about us. Also, didn't you accept Zua's 3000 spirit stones when you went to Qingshan sect before? Why are you being so awkward this time? Chapter 91 Yun Yongzhu. Yun Yongzhu returned to his yard and found that the light in the east wing was still on, so he went to take a look. He knocked on the door and pushed it open. He saw the beggar sitting on the table outside the screen, reading a book. Beggar, why aren't you asleep yet? The beggar put down the book, turned to Yun Yongzhu and said, Brother Jiu, I'm waiting for you to come back. Well, thank you, beggar. Since you haven't slept yet, let me ask you a question. Do you want to recognize my parents as your parents? The beggar asked in disbelief. Brother Jiu, do you mean to let Uncle Wu and Aunt Wu become my parents? Is this true? Of course it's true. As long as you agree, my parents will be your parents. Of course I agree. I'm so happy, Brother Jiu. I have parents. Sure enough, hearing Yun Yongzhu's confirmation, the beggar jumped on him excitedly and shook Yun Yongzhu's body vigorously. Okay, come down quickly. It's late. Go to bed. Yun Yongzhu pulled the beggar off him and carried him to the bed. Beggar, good night. After Yun Yongzhu left, the beggar rolled on the bed excitedly. After half a quarter of an hour, he gradually calmed down. He lay on the bed, looking at the starry sky through the skylight, feeling like he was dreaming. Dad, Mom. He murmured these two unfamiliar names and slowly fell into a beautiful dream. Yun Yongzhu heard the beggar's breathing gradually become steady and long outside the door, knowing that he had fallen asleep, so he returned to his room. He didn't expect that the beggar would be so happy about this matter, even happier than when he told him that he had spiritual roots. Early the next morning, Yun Yongzhu received the clan leader's sound transmission note before he had time to practice daily. I saw a white paper crane landed on the palm of Yun Yongzhu's hand, and the content inside directly floated in his mind. Seeing the paper crane complete its mission and turn into nothingness in his palm, Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but smile bitterly. Unexpectedly, the clan leader was also so happy about the news of the beggar's second spiritual root that he lost his mind. Now he remembered to tell him not to reveal the beggar's spiritual root qualification to a third person. Unfortunately, the clan leader's sound transmission talisman came too late. He told Tulu about this matter as soon as he got home yesterday. Fortunately, Bayer and the others didn't know. Yun Yongzhu took out a sound transmission talisman and muttered to himself that he would come to find him after Chenshi. The talisman paper was raised and turned into a paper crane flying towards the top of the mountain. Then he got into position and practiced the 7th level of the burning wood art. An hour later, Yun Yongzhu quit practicing, packed up and went to the beggar's room. He knocked on the door gently and said, "Beggar, are you up?" Yun Yongzhu knocked on the door 3 times before he heard the beggar answer. "Brother Jiu, I'm up." Then there was a rustling sound in the room, and soon the beggar opened the door. "Brother 9, I'm fine." Yun Yongzhu straightened his collar and his crooked hairband. "Let's go to our parents." The beggar followed Yun Yongzhu and asked nervously, "Brother 9, did you say last night that Uncle 5 and Aunt 5 can be my parents?" "Yes, you can't call them uncle and aunt in the future. You have to call them parents. I'm taking you to get to know them again and have breakfast." The beggar confirmed that he was not dreaming and followed Yun Yongzhu with a nervous mood. "Relax, you have already met them yesterday. They will treat you the same as they treat me." Seeing his nervous expression, Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but comfort him. His words really worked. The beggar remembered the way Yun Daichin and Yang Lia talked and acted yesterday, and relaxed. Not long after, Yun Yongzhu and the others arrived at their parents' yard, where they were sitting at the stone table having breakfast. "Dad and Mom, I brought your new son here." Upon hearing this, the beggar looked at Yun's father and mother with a look of bewilderment and expectation. Yang Lia stood up and glared at Yun Yongzhu. "You're so talkative." Then she gently took the beggar's hand and pulled him between her and her husband. "Beggar, Zua has told us about your situation. I'll ask you again, do you want to be our son?" The beggar was nervous, but a little happy, and replied, "I do, of course I want to be your son." Yun Yongzhu had already sat down by himself at this time, looking at the breakfast on the table, which was just a simple lingan cake with lingmi porridge. "Since you want to, why don't you call Dad and Mom?" At Yun Yongzhu's reminder, the beggar whispered Dad, Mom, to Yun Daichin and Yang Liu respectively. "Hey, good son, good boy." Yang Liu arranged for him to sit next to her. "Son, come, sit here and have some rice porridge this morning. After breakfast, I'll take you to get familiar with our home environment." Yun Daichin said, "Son, since you have already recognized us as your parents, and will soon be included in the family tree, the name beggar can no longer be used." The beggar looked at him and said, "Dad, my elder brother told me that you should give me a new name." Yun Daichin stroked his chin and thought for a while, then said, "Since he is a son, he should be of the young generation, so let's call him Juana." Yuan, fate. Fate is determined by heaven, so Zua has the opportunity to meet you and send you to us. Fate depends on human efforts. You want a pair of parents, and we want another son, so we have the blessing to become closely connected relatives today. Yun Yongzhu nodded repeatedly beside him, and the word Yuan is indeed very good. As the saying goes, if you are destined to meet, you will meet each other, even if you are thousands of miles apart, and if you are not destined to meet each other, you will not meet each other, even if you are not destined to meet each other. Fate or not is actually all in one's mind. If he had simply given the beggars some money to send them off, nothing would have happened later. Their Yun family would not have gained a genius, he would not have had a younger brother, Yun Yongzhu, and the beggar would have had a completely different life. Moreover, means and he hoped that he would remember the source of the water, be grateful, and repay and support the family in the future. "Let me get to know you again, Yun Yongzhu. Juana, I'm your eldest brother Yun Yongzhu. In front of the clan members, you should still call me the ninth brother." Yun Yongzhu solemnly introduced himself to Yun Yongzhu. "I'm your father Yun Daichin. I'm your mother Yang Lia." Yun Yongzhu looked at the serious attitude of the three people and couldn't help but be moved. At this moment, Yun Yongbei and the other two entered the yard. "Father and mother. Big brother, Kia, what are you talking about? Bear, come and meet your new brother. Kia now has a new name, Yongzhu, the Yuan of Fate. Juana, this is your second brother Yun Yongbei." "Hello, second brother, I'm Yun Yongzhu." Yun Yongbei said in confusion. "Fifth brother? No, it's the younger brother anyway. We don't know who is older and who is younger between Juana and Aina and Kanja yet. We'll see after we enter the family tree." Yun Yongzhu didn't have much feeling about whether he was a brother or a younger brother. He felt very happy to be a part of this family. The twins were different. They were the youngest in the family and had long wanted to be promoted, but it was a pity that Yang Liu never had any more children. "Juana is shorter than me, definitely younger than me. I'm the third brother Yun Yongzhu. Juana is shorter than me, definitely younger than me. I'm the fourth brother Yun Yongkang." The two walked to Yun Yongzhu's side together and compared their heights in unison, thinking that it would be nice to be brothers for a few days. Yang Lia hugged Yun Yongzhu and protected him. "You two little devils, don't bully Juana. Juana has suffered a lot since he was a child, and he doesn't eat well. How can he be taller than you two?" Yun Daichin also said, "We will know who is older and who is younger in a few days, so don't take advantage of Juana." "Okay, let's eat. I will go to the clan leader to talk about adopting Juana." Yun Yongzhu was serving porridge to his brothers. Hearing his father's words, he looked up and said, "Dad, I will go and tell him later. It just so happens that I haven't told the clan leader something yet." "Okay, then your mother and I will accompany Juana to get familiar with the environment of the home and family." Then the family had breakfast happily. Chapter 92. Handing over the wine recipe. After an incense stick, Yun Yongzhu finished his breakfast first. He put down his bowl and spoon, and wiped the corner of his mouth with a handkerchief. Dad, Mom, brothers, I'm done. You guys take your time. I'm going to the clan leader first. Okay, remember to tell the clan leader that your mom and I accepted Joanna. Also, ask when Joanna can be included in the family tree. Wait, there's also your book. I copied it overnight last night. You can take it back. Yun Yongzhu took the Yongzhu memorandum handed over by his father and went out. He sacrificed his own flowing light wing magic weapon and arrived outside Yun Shicheng's cave in just a quarter of an hour. Yun Yongzhu met the clan leader waiting in the lobby and bowed. Xiaojiu, no need to be polite. Tell me about the spiritual fruit wine. Does the clan leader already know? Yes, when the second brother came to see me with his Taoist partner yesterday, he mentioned this matter. Yun Shicheng still looked unhappy when he talked about Yun Daihao and Tang Bao Bao. However, there have been many happy events in the family in recent years, so I won't bother with them. Patriarch, what about second uncle and Uncle Tang? Yun Yongzhu was actually a little gossipy in his heart. After all, situations like second uncles were not encouraged in both the world of immortal cultivation and the secular world. Yin and yang are born, and men and women are divided. Since ancient times, the union of men and women has been the way of heaven. Moreover, people with spiritual roots are originally 1 in a million. Especially for the immortal cultivation family, it is the unshakable responsibility and obligation of all clansmen to reproduce descendants with spiritual roots. He didn't know the details, but more than half of the people with spiritual roots in their Yun family seemed to be reproduced by cultivators, and the remaining less than half of the members were produced from 200,000 clansmen. It is conceivable how angry the patriarch was when he heard the news yesterday. Fortunately, second uncle Yun Daihao offered the magic weapons of spiritual fruit wine, 5-element spiritual fruit, spirit gathering pill, and spiritual shield to calm his anger. Once the beggar's matter is settled, and the problem of your spiritual fruit wine is resolved, we can hold a low-key bond ceremony for the two of them. Yun Yongzhu nodded. This was fine. Clan leader, the beggar has acknowledged my parents as his parents this morning. My father gave him a new name, Yun Yongzhu. Yun Yongzhu. Yun, this word is good. Tracing back to the source, it was because of our ancestor Yun Yili, who had 2 spiritual roots, that our Yun family became one of the 5 major families in Yunzhou. I hope he can also become the new source of the family. Clan leader, it's not the source of water, it's the Yuan of fate. Yuan of fate is also fine, it has the same pronunciation and the meaning. By the way, clan leader, I told my parents about Joanna's spiritual root qualifications as soon as I got home yesterday, but then I told them that if others asked, they should say that Joanna has 3 spiritual roots. I know, it's my fault for not reminding you earlier, but it's okay, just don't tell this to the 6th person. Okay, tell me about your recipe for spiritual fruit wine. Clan leader, why don't you go to your 25th great uncle? I will tell him in person, so as not to trouble you to repeat it again. Okay, let's go. I didn't see Uncle 25 yesterday, and we haven't talked about Yongzhu yet. Let's go together. Yun Shicheng took Yun Yongzhu to the top of the mountain using the cloud soaring technique. This is the highest point of Yunwu mountain, with only 2 caves built in total. That is the only 2nd grade upper grade spiritual vein in the family. Uncle 9 and Uncle 25's caves are built there. Yun Shicheng pointed to a place covered by clouds and mist for Yun Yongzhu, and then took him to the other side. In order not to affect Uncle 9's retreat, Uncle 25 moved to a 2nd grade lower grade spiritual vein, and built another cave a few years ago. The 2 landed on the cloud, and Yun Shicheng shot a sound transmission note into a misty place, and soon there was movement. All the fog in front of the 2 people dissipated, and the scene was revealed. Xiaojiu, follow me, don't walk around. Uncle 25 has set up a formation here. Yun Yongzhu carefully stepped on Yun Shicheng's footprints, and followed him step by step. After a quarter of an hour of twists and turns, they finally entered a long passage. The top of the passage was inlaid with night pearls of various sizes, making the entire passage as bright as the sun. From the passage, it can be seen that this cave is not an ordinary courtyard building of the tribe, but is more full of primitive flavor. Sure enough, after walking through the passage, there is a spacious hall with 4 stone pillars for support. They should have been dug and carved directly on the Yunwu mountain. Although the style of the cave is simple, it is not rough, and the overall style is still exquisite. All the stone walls and stone pillars are carefully polished and carved, and the stone tables and stone chairs placed in the hall are also carefully carved. The two had just entered the hall when Yun Yongzhu walked out of a passage. "Greetings to Uncle 25th. Greetings to Uncle 25th. Yun Yongzhu waved his hand, pointed to the stone chairs on both sides, and motioned for the two to sit down. He first asked Yun Yongzhu with concern, "Xiaojiu, did you encounter any danger on the road?" Yun Yongzhu briefly talked about the evil cultivators he encountered on the road. After listening to Yun Yongzhu's narration, Yun Yongzhu nodded and said, "I'm glad you're safe. Don't be so reckless in the future. The family is still too far away from Qingshan sect. You are the hope of the family now. Take care of yourself. Your most important task is to practice well, strive to enter the great perfection of key training as soon as possible, and plan to build a foundation. After you build a foundation, it will be much safer to travel between the two places." Then he turned to Yun Shicheng and asked, "Changer, you said in the message yesterday that there was a big happy event. What is it?" Yun Shicheng showed joy and replied respectfully, 25th uncle, there are 3 happy events, all related to Xiaojiu. Let him talk." Yun Yongzhu looked at Yun Yongzhu. 25th great uncle, I met a child with dual spiritual roots on the way back, and I brought him back to the family. When Yun Yongzhu heard that it was a child with dual spiritual roots, he stood up immediately in shock. "Xiaojiu, where is he? Why didn't you bring him here?" 25th great uncle, Juana is at my house, and should be familiar with the family environment now. He has already recognized my parents as his own parents. Very good. How old is Juana? About 8 or 9 years old. He is an orphan. The exact age is not yet certain. Please come and see. Add the child's name to the family tree tomorrow. I will go to the ancestral hall to see him tomorrow morning. By the way, tell the public that he has the qualifications of 3 spiritual roots. Do you understand? Seeing Yun Yongzhu and Yun Shicheng nod, he asked happily, "Is there anything else? Tell me all at once." Yun Yongzhu immediately took out the thin, light yellow 5-element spiritual fruit wine recipe from the storage bag. He handed the paper to Yun Yongzhu with both hands. 25th great uncle, this is something I accidentally got from a casual cultivator. It is a recipe for 5-element spiritual fruit wine. Yun Yongzhu looked at the recipe in his hand seriously, and Yun Shicheng also leaned over to take a look. This is all written in ancient Chinese. Yun Yongzhu then took out a jar of spiritual fruit wine that he brewed. 25th great uncle, clan leader, the value of this recipe is that, following the above steps, you can brew good spiritual fruit wine. This is the spiritual fruit wine I brewed on the road. Please check it out. Yun Shicheng picked up the small wine jar, removed the mud seal, and uncovered the yellow paper and the innermost cloth. Suddenly, a strong aroma of wine drifted throughout the cave hall. Chapter 93 Family Contribution. Yun Yongzhu took out 3 jade bowls. Yun Shicheng filled them up, one for each of them. Yun Yongzhu savored the green fruit wine, while watching the reactions of Yun Yongzhu and the others. It has a refreshing fragrance and a slightly sweet taste. The most important thing is that this fruit wine contains rich spiritual energy, which is very helpful for cultivation. Yun Yongzhu did not say much, but just asked, "Xiaojiu, what kind of spiritual fruit is this brewed from?" 25th great uncle, this spiritual fruit is brewed from the green fruit I bought in Yongzhou. I bought a total of 120 spiritual fruits in Yongzhou. In order to experiment with the formula, in addition to the green fruit, I also bought ground cotton fruit, black lotus fruit, thorn fruit and white orchid fruit. I specially brewed 20 jars of spiritual fruit wine with different medicines for these 5 low-grade spiritual fruits. I brewed 3 jars of this green fruit wine with the same spiritual medicine and spiritual grass, and this jar is the 3rd jar, so I'm not sure whether other wines are as successful as this green fruit wine. By the way, the cost of 20 jars of spiritual fruit wine is about 15 spiritual stones per jar. Although Yun Yongzhu said that he was not sure whether other spiritual fruit wines were effective, Yun Zuxuan and Yun Shicheng's eyes lit up when they heard it. Xiaojiu, did you bring the other spiritual fruit wine you brewed? Yun Yongzhu understood Yun Zuxuan's meaning, nodded and took out all the remaining 17 jars of unopened spiritual fruit wine. In addition, he flipped his hand and took out the only 3 green fruits he had left. 25th great uncle, I still have 3 green fruits. Yun Zuxuan put away the spiritual fruit wine and green fruits with a happy face and drank all the wine in the jade bowl in one gulp. Uncle 25. Although the spiritual energy contained in this spiritual fruit wine is much less than that of the key gathering pill, it does not have the harm of pill poisoning and can be taken continuously. This alone is much better than the key gathering pill. Yes, clan leader, you are right. If you use better spiritual fruits as the main ingredients, you may be able to brew spiritual fruit wine with higher quality and more spiritual energy. There is so much room for exploration in this recipe. Xiaojiu, who else knows about the recipe of this 5-element spiritual fruit wine besides the 3 of us? And Uncle only the 4 of us know about this. Okay, you all keep this matter to yourself. Changer, remember to tell Heo to keep it secret. Yes, Uncle 25. In fact, even if Yun Zuxuan did not order this confidentiality work, the other 3 people knew the importance of it. Xiaojiu, are the items of the casual cultivator still there? Is there the source of this recipe in it? Yun Yongzhu took out the lightning-inducing talisman and the autobiography with the recipe that he got at the same time as the spiritual fruit wine recipe. This talisman and this autobiography belong to that casual cultivator. I have dealt with the other magic tools and spiritual medicines. Yun Zuxuan opened the jade box and saw a light purple spiritual talisman lying inside. He was surprised after identifying it. This is a 2nd level low-grade lightning talisman. 2nd level talismans are not easy to obtain. Even Yun Zuxuan only has 2 spiritual talismans, one for attack and one for defense. Moreover, talismans with the 3 attributes of ice, wind, and thunder are more valuable. It takes twice the spiritual stones and materials to obtain them. Yun Shichen was flipping through the autobiography, and he became more and more confused. Uncle 25. Judging from the description in this autobiography, it should be the essay of a giant and Zenran. But the place names and forces recorded in it are never heard of. Let me see. Yun Zuxuan flipped through a few pages at a glance and stopped. Endless Sea, Evil Spirit Abyss, Merchant Alliance, I have never heard of these. However, this uses the unified writing of the current cultivation world, so it should be recorded in a certain place or force in the cultivation world, but it is very far away from us. Yun Yongzhu had read the autobiography a long time ago, and he thought so too. Because his own realm was too low, he could not access broader knowledge and more advanced forces. Yun Zuxuan returned the jade box containing the lightning talisman and the autobiography to Yun Yongzhu. Xiaojiu, since you can't find the origin of the spirit fruit wine recipe, forget it. Leave the matter of the spirit fruit wine to the family. Don't worry too much, you just need to practice well. Got it. 25th great uncle, there is one last little happy event. That is, my 2nd uncle and I were lucky enough to get 5 element spirit fruits on the way back, one for each attribute, all 300 years old. Hearing Yun Yongzhu talking about the 5 element spirit fruits, Yun Shichen took out 2 jade boxes from the storage bag. Uncle 25, these are the water spirit fruit and earth spirit fruit that Heoa gave me. The other 3 are in the hands of Xiaojiu and the others. Great Uncle 25, after I take the fire spirit fruit, I will hand the core to the clan leader. Yun Zuxuan took the jade box, opened it and took a look, then handed it to Yun Shichen, then raised his eyebrows. 3. Besides Xiaojiu and Heo, who else? Yun Yongzhu was silent. He looked at Yun Shichen. Yun Shichen coughed and stroked his beard. Uncle 25, Heo brought his Taoist partner back, and the evil cultivator in the foundation building period was killed by his Taoist partner with a 2nd level inferior golden knife talisman. Oh. This Heo, I thought he would not get married until he was over 60 years old. Is he a casual cultivator or a family cultivator? Uncle 25, I will tell you about this slowly later. Okay, Xiaojiu, do you have anything else to say? Yun Yongzhu took out his Yongzhu memorandum. 25th great uncle, you have gained some experience in alchemy in the past 2 years, and this is the latest one. Looking at Yun Yongzhu, Yun Zuxuan couldn't help but sigh. Xiaojiu, you are really a noble person in the family. Since sending you to Qingshan sect, the family has received good news one after another. Yun Shichen nodded next to him. Yes, thanks to Xiaojiu, the family's debt pressure has been greatly reduced, and an alchemy apprentice has appeared in the family. Now he has brought back a double spiritual root genius and such a good recipe for 5-element spirit fruit wine. These are all signs of the family's revitalization. Yun Yongzhu looked suspicious and asked, debt? Alchemy apprentice? So Yun Shichen simply told Yun Yongzhu about the family's situation. Just as the second uncle knew, it was indeed because of the 25th great uncle's foundation building that the family's finances were struggling. However, before the 25th great uncle built his foundation, the family was just barely able to maintain a balance between income and expenditure. The family currently has a total of 178 people, excluding 2 foundation building cultivators, a clan leader and 5 clan elders. There are 170 ordinary clan members. Among them, there are 22 people in the late stage of key training, 98 people in the middle stage of key training, and the remaining 50 are in the early stage of key training. Yun Yongzhu notes that the monthly allowance of the family is distributed according to the cultivation level, and the spiritual rice and family contribution points are calculated as spiritual stones. The monthly allowance for the early stage of key training is 2 spiritual stones, the middle stage of key training is 5.3 spiritual stones, and the late stage of key training is 11 spiritual stones. Yun Yongzhu calculated in his mind that the monthly allowance alone costs the family more than 10,000 yuan every year. Even if the monthly allowance of contribution points is deducted, the actual monthly allowance expenditure is more than 10,000 yuan per year. This data does not include the 2 great uncles, the clan leader and the 5 elders. But in addition to the monthly allowance of the clan members, the family has many other complicated expenses, such as the maintenance and upkeep of the mountain gate array, the supply of the family's spiritual medicine garden, the rewards for daily tasks in the mission hall, the feed of spiritual beasts, the cultivation of weapon refiners, etc. All these add up to at least 10,000 spiritual stones per year. The family's income mainly comes from shops and mines. The shops mainly sell magic weapons, talismans, spiritual rice, spiritual medicine, spiritual beast meat, spiritual beast eggs, refining materials, etc. There are 4 mines, 3 black iron mines, and 1 black iron mine. Every year, tens of millions of kilograms of black iron ore and black iron ore are produced. The family has a total of 10 shops, 8 of which are located in Yangzhou, and a Yangxiao pavilion is also opened in the main cities of Kangzhou and Lanzhou. The income of the 10 shops varies. When it is good, it can earn 200 or 300 spiritual stones a month, and when it is bad, it can only earn dozens or hundreds of spiritual stones a month. In general, the shops can earn about 20,000 spiritual stones a year. The mines also earn 3 to 5,000 spiritual stones a year. In short, the income is high, and the expenditure is not small. The clan saved as much as they could, and even sold some treasures in the clan treasury. In addition to the continuous accumulation over the past 13 years, they have gradually repaid 50,000 spirit stones. I thought it would take another 4 or 5 years to pay off the debt. Unexpectedly, when Uncle 25 went to Qingshan sect to give you cultivation resources 6 years ago, you not only did not accept them, but also sent back 10,000 spirit stones to the family, which really relieved a lot of pressure on the clan. Yun Yongzhu only now knew the specific number of family cultivators and the source of family income. From this, it can be seen that Yun Yongzhu has entered the power center of the family. This is all because of the positive influence he has brought to the family in recent years, and because he has now become a first-class upper-grade alchemist and an inner disciple of Qingshan sect. Moreover, the family contribution points can be exchanged for spirit stones at a 1-to-1 ratio. In order to accumulate spirit stones, to repay the debts of the 4 major families, the family has restricted the direct exchange of contribution points for spirit stones for more than 10 years. Xiaojiu, bring your identity jade card. Yun Yongzhu took out a piece of white jade in the shape of auspicious clouds and handed it to Yun Yongzhu. Yun Yongzhu picked up the jade tablet and said to Yun Yongzhu, the family as a whole, although it depends on every member of the family to make contributions to make the family stronger, we cannot ask the members to make contributions for free. If the members of the family are asked to make contributions for free, they will become resentful in the long run, and the family will gradually weaken. Yun Yongzhu was thoughtful after hearing this. Although he was happy to contribute to the family, what his 25th great uncle said made sense. Xiaojiu, you are no exception. I will record your contribution to the family in recent years as contribution points. Then Yun Yongzhu counted his contributions for him one by one. 10,000 contribution points are the 10,000 spirit stones you gave to the family, and 1,000 contribution points are the 10 bottles of low-grade key gathering pills. Water spirit fruit and earth spirit fruit count as 600 contribution points, and you get 200 contribution points. 5 element spirit fruit seeds count as 1,500 contributions, and you get 500 contribution points. 25th uncle, the second brother and the others also handed in 4 low-grade spirit gathering pills and a low-grade defensive spirit weapon. The 3 of them said they would share the contribution equally. Yun Shichen reminded from the side. Those 4 soul gathering pills are worth 1,200 contribution points, the low-grade defensive spiritual weapon is worth 300 contribution points, and I'll give you another 500 contribution points. Yun Yongzhu's face was filled with surprise when he heard this. The soul gathering pill would greatly benefit his cultivation. He and his 9th brother would each get 2 of these pills. The following are all contributions of inestimable value, which will have a huge impact on the future of the family. I can only record a few contributions for you symbolically. Yongzhu Memorandum. This book has trained an alchemy apprentice for the family, that is, your 9th uncle Yun Shui. In the future, it is expected that more alchemy apprentices and even first level alchemists will appear. This book counts for 1,000 contribution points. If you advance to a higher level alchemist in the future, update this book and then count it. This recipe for the 5 element spiritual fruit wine counts for 10,000 contribution points. There is also 100 contribution points for finding a genius seedling for the family. Yun Yongzhu returned the jade card to Yun Yongzhu and said, there are a total of 23,300 contribution points in it, but unless it is for foundation building, it will be within 10 years. No, 5 years. These contribution points cannot be used within 5 years, and can only be used after 5 years. But the one-time exchange amount is too large, and it needs to be agreed by the clan. Yun Yongzhu nodded and said, 25th great uncle, I know the importance. If the contribution points in his hand are used improperly, it is likely to cause a crisis in the family finances, or even directly cause the collapse of the family financial system. It is much easier for the clan to have no debt. This year, we can finally distribute spiritual stones and spiritual rice monthly allowances to the elders, without having to calculate contribution points. Yun Shichen was also very happy in his heart, because he was also a member who calculated contribution points. Although as long as the family survives, the contribution points will be used sooner or later, but it has been 13 years since the normal monthly allowance was issued, and the elders are more or less resentful. It is just that for the long-term development of the family, they have to take on more responsibilities. Moreover, even if the debt is eliminated, it will be a long time for the family to accumulate spiritual stones. In their lifetime, it is estimated that they will not be able to use these accumulated contribution points, and they can only pass them on to future generations. However, the formula of the 5 element spiritual fruit wine and the Yongzhu memorandum handed over by Yun Yongzhu to the family have injected new vitality into the family and brought new sources of income. The cost of the spiritual fruit wine has been changed. Chapter 94 Trade Fair Proposal. Yun Yongzhu was very happy that he could play such a big role in the family, and it was worth it for him to leave Yunwu Mountain and his relatives for more than 10 years. 25th great uncle, I have said everything I wanted to say, just these 3 things. Yun Yongzhu looked at Yun Shichen and asked, do you have anything else to say? Yun Shichen pondered for a moment, looked at Yun Yongzhu again, and said, 25th uncle, I have a suggestion about Xiaojiu. Oh. Tell me about it. Xiaojiu is now an inner disciple of Qingshan sect and has become a first-class top-grade alchemist. Should we take advantage of Xiaojiu's time in the family to hold a trade fair for the 5 major families? Yun Yongzhu looked at Yun Yongzhu with a dazed look. Second brother, your suggestion is good. The family has been keeping a low profile for too long because of the debt problem. Some people no longer take the Yun family seriously. He turned and said thoughtfully, but the family's finances have just improved. What good trading items can we have? Yun Shicheng also calculated, the family has the most magic tools. There are more than 50 first level fine magic tools and 5 spiritual tools. There are also many first level talismans in the warehouse, and many high quality materials for refining magic tools. In the spiritual medicine garden, there are 56 kinds of first level precious spiritual medicines, 5 second level low grade ones, 1 second level medium grade 1, and 1 second level high grade 1. I just don't know how many are mature. I will ask my 8th brother later. Yun Yongzhu turned around and asked Yun Yongzhu, Xiaojiu, how long can you stay in the family? To reply to my 25th great uncle, the specific time is not yet determined, but it must be a month. Although the sect did not restrict the inner disciples too much, it is undeniable that the cultivation environment of Qingshan sect is more beneficial to him. Therefore, he wanted to inquire about the news of Wanbao Pavilion's merchant ships in a month before making plans. 1 month. Yun Yongzhu paced a few steps. There is plenty of time. Changer, you should prepare the invitations to the trade fair first. The time will be set in 1 month, and the location will be in Yunwu town at the foot of the mountain. Then publicize the news of this trade fair in Yunzhou, and make sure that all the independent cultivators in Yunzhou know about it. In addition, more people must know that Xiaojiu has entered Qingshan sect and become a first-class top-grade alchemist. Yes, 25th uncle. Yun Yongzhu waited for Yun Shicheng to reply before saying, since the main purpose is to publicize my existence to the 4 major families in Yunzhou, how can I not show off? 25th great uncle, clan leader, I have the materials for a Dingayan pill in my hand, and I bought a lot of materials for Juki pill on the way back to the family. 1 month is enough for me to refine a lot of pills, but without the assistance of the earth fire chamber, the speed of refining pills will be lower. Yun Shicheng was surprised and said, Dingayan pill? Yun Yongzhu chuckled and asked in return, who told you that the family doesn't have an earth fire chamber? There is an earth fire chamber in the family? Why haven't I heard of it? Yun Shicheng explained, this earth fire chamber is not on Yunwu mountain, but on Xiante, a few hundred miles east of Yunwu mountain. Xiante is an important place in the clan, and only a few weapon refiners and elders in the clan know about it. So that's how it is. He said, without the earth fire chamber, how can a second level spiritual weapon and so many fine magic weapons be refined? Xiaojiu, what you said makes sense. Since it is mainly to announce your existence to other families and independent cultivators, it is best to focus on your elixirs at the trade fair. With the 3 grade key gathering pills of upper, middle and lower grades, plus a Dingayan pill, the quantity is enough. But there are not many types. I will go to the main city to buy a few more elixir materials. By the way, Xiaojiu, what elixir can you refine? Yun Yongzhu then told them all the elixirs he had refined. When they heard him talk about the effects of the Bizin pill, their eyes lit up. Yun Yongzhu nodded, and he already had an idea in his mind. Chapter 95 Old Friend. Okay, I got it. If you don't have anything to do, go get busy. Changer, take Xiaojiu out. Shicheng, take your leave. Xiaojiu, take your leave. Yun Shicheng and Yun Yongzhu bowed to Yun Yongzhu and said goodbye. Then Yun Shicheng took Yun Yongzhu out of the cave and walked out of the formation. Xiaojiu, I'll go and explain the trade fair and make some preparations. You go back first. Remember to tell your father to take Yang Yuan to the ancestral hall tomorrow morning. Okay, clan leader, take care. Yun Yongzhu watched Yun Shicheng fly away on the cloud, and also sacrificed the flowing light wings, and flew towards his home. He arrived home in a short while, and there was no one at home. Yun Yongzhu thought that his parents should take Juana to familiarize themselves with the environment, and Bear and the other 3 might follow. After coming back for a day, Yun Yongzhu felt that he should visit the elders and the 8 brothers. If there was anyone who knew the whereabouts of the 8 brothers, it would be the 7th uncle of the mission hall. Yun Yongzhu then sorted out his storage bag and went to the clan school. The mission hall is right next to the clan school. 7th elder Yun Shais usually stays in the main hall of the mission hall. When Yun Yongzhu arrived at the mission hall, he saw many clan members waiting outside the door. He glanced around and saw 2 familiar faces. So he went over and interrupted the people who were talking together. 6th sister? Chang'an? Yun Yongzhu's voice attracted several people to look at him, and when they saw his face, they all screamed. Zhao Jiu. 9th brother. Why did you return to the clan? Several people gathered together and surrounded Yun Yongzhu. Yun Yongzhu's face was too recognizable, and he looked too much like his father. It can be said that anyone who has seen Yun Daichen will not mistake him. It's me. Are you the 5th brother? Are you the 21st uncle? Yun Yongzhu and Yun Daichen nodded. 5th brother, 20 uncle, you have changed a lot. I almost didn't recognize you. You have changed a lot. You looked so much like 5th aunt when you were a child. Now you look different. Zhao Jiu, when did you come back? Why haven't I heard about your return? A handsome young man who was about the same age as him asked Yun Yongzhu. Who are you? Yun Yongzhu wondered which of his cousins this was. Why didn't he have any impression of him at all? 6th sister Yang Meng covered her mouth and laughed. 9th brother, you can't guess who he is. Yun Chang'an also laughed secretly. She revealed the secret. 9th uncle, this is the 7th uncle. You didn't expect it, did you? He's 7th brother? How did you become so thin? So handsome? In Yun Yongzhu's impression, Yun Yongzhu was a fat little boy with a round face. Is this what it means? When a boy grows up, he becomes more and more handsome? Ha ha ha. Yun Yongzhu punched Yun Yongzhu on the shoulder. Go to hell. I was handsome to begin with, but I was just chubby when I was a child. Everyone laughed when they heard this. After laughing, Yun Yongzhu said, I just came back yesterday. I came to visit Uncle 7 today and asked about your news. Then you came at the wrong time. Uncle 7 is very busy today. By the way, 9th brother, what realm are you in now? Why can't I see through your cultivation? 5th brother, I'm now at the 7th level of key training. Yun Yongzhu and the other 5 were surprised. Yun Yongzhu's progress was really amazing. The aptitude of 3 spiritual roots is really extraordinary. I didn't expect that we are still hovering at the 3rd and 4th levels of key training, but you, 9th brother, have surpassed us by a major realm. Yun Yongzhu's tone was quite emotional, and there was a hint of envy. The eyes of others were also full of admiration, but there was no jealousy at all. It is also because Qingshan sect is rich in resources. Yun Yongzhu chuckled and ended the topic, asking the clansmen why they were queuing outside the mission hall. Why are you all gathered here? Is this why Uncle 7 is busy today? Hearing Yun Yongzhu's question, Yun Daichen smiled and explained it to him. Zhao Jiu, everyone is here to collect their monthly allowance. 6th sister Yun Yongmeng also said, yes, I saw 5th uncle is here too. I have never seen this 5th uncle who is in charge of the family finances in the mission hall. Yun Chang'an joined in the fun and said, I saw several elders come to collect their monthly allowance. Yun Yongzhu thought that it was probably because the elders had not received their monthly allowance of spirit stones and spirit rice for too long, so when they heard that they could get it, they all came rushing over. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96, Leaving the Storage Bag. Since everyone is here to collect their monthly allowance today, I won't bother Uncle 7. How about everyone come to my house to gather tomorrow at 9 PM? Yun Yongzhu said, why don't we go to my cave? Yun Yongzhu thought that it was not convenient to have his elders at home, so he nodded and agreed to his 5th brother's proposal. Okay, see you tomorrow morning. Remember to call 8th brother and the others. I'm going back first. Yun Yongzhu asked Yun Yongzhu where he lived and went home. Seeing Yun Yongzhu leave, Yun Yongmeng and the others started to discuss. Ninth brother has changed so much. If he didn't look so much like fifth uncle, I wouldn't recognize him. Yes, he's still as pretty as he was when he was a child. Do you dare to say that in front of ninth brother? Little 9 is already at the 7th level of key training. I think he has a great chance of building a foundation. Talent is really the most important thing. 8th brother is still at the 6th level of key training. No more talking, we'll be in soon. Yun Yongzhu was not idle after returning. He started to refine key gathering pills, among which the lower grade pills had the highest yield rate. It was almost noon, and he set up a big pot in the yard and cooked spiritual rice. When the spiritual rice was cooked, he put the cut venison on top. Although this would lose a little spiritual energy, the taste would be better. I hope it would make it easier for Yun Yongzhu to bite. Not long after, he heard the sound of Yun's father and mother bringing Yun Yongzhu home. The family greeted each other, and Yun Yongzhu invited them to his yard. The twins had already returned to the clan school to study, and Yun Yongzhu also went down the mountain to look after his mission spiritual field. Mom and dad, I made lunch. Let's eat together. People who cultivate immortality are not immortals. They cannot live without grains just like ordinary people. It's just that cultivators with better conditions will use spiritual rice and spiritual food to fill their stomachs. Yang Liu took Yun Yongzhu by the hand and walked into Yun Yongzhu's yard. This is the first time in my life that I have eaten the rice made by Zua. Yun Yongzhu thought about it, and it was true. Before leaving home, he had been living in the clan school, and occasionally when he went home, he would eat ready-made food. Then mom and dad, please try the spiritual rice I made. I use the golden tooth rice bought and learns how to cook it. That's for sure. Even if it doesn't taste good, mom will finish it. During the meal, Yun Yongzhu asked about Yun Yongzhu's inclusion in the family tree. Dad, I have seen the 25th grandfather. He said that he will be included in the family tree tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, Chen Zeng will take Juana to the ancestral hall. That's good. I will take Juana to the family tree in the town in the afternoon. By the way, this golden tooth rice tastes pretty good. Yes. Yang Liu also nodded and praised. Yun Yongzhu said very considerately, Dad and Mom, I'll send you some more golden tooth rice after dinner. Last night, Yun's father and mother were all focused on the elixir, and the golden tooth rice they took was only about 2 pounds. After lunch, Yun Yongzhu was coaxed to sleep in the room, and the three of them came to Yun's father and mother's yard. Yun Yongzhu took out 6 first-level low-grade storage bags from his arms and said to Yun's father and mother, Dad and Mom, I can't use these storage bags now, so I'll give them to you and your brothers. I'll give them to your brothers after they enter the 5th level of key training, so as to avoid coveting and causing trouble. This can also be regarded as a means of encouraging them to practice. Now he has a total of 9 storage bags in his hands. One was given by Yun's father when he was drawing ki into his body, one was distributed by the sect when he first entered the Qingshan sect, and the other 3 were obtained from 3 casual cultivators in the Yangtze Monster Mountain range, and the last 4 were obtained from the evil cultivator of Jidao a month ago. The only first grade top grade storage bag is currently being used by Yun Yongzhu, and there are 8 lower grade storage bags that are idle. Yun Yongzhu originally wanted to give them directly to his brothers, but later felt that he couldn't hand over such valuable items to them so easily. Yesterday you told me not to spend spirit stones on your brothers, and today you left them such valuable storage bags. These 6 storage bags are worth a huge sum of 1,800 spirit stones, and most of the tribesmen can only go to the main city to buy a storage bag. Yun Yongzhu probably knew the origin of his son's storage bags. Seeing that her husband didn't ask much, Yang Liu didn't say much. Dad, I really don't need so many storage bags. If I don't give them to Bayer and the others, I will give them to the tribe. Yun Yongzhu planned to keep the remaining 2 lower grade storage bags for himself. Okay, I'll take it. I'll give it to Bayer and the others when they reach the 5th level of key training. Yun Yongzhu then left 10 kilograms of golden rice for his father and mother and returned to his yard. Yun Yongzhu spent all the afternoon refining pills, and the day passed peacefully. Chapter 97, Entering the Family Tree. The next morning, Yun Yongzhu had just finished his training when he heard Yun Yongzhu coming into the yard. He came to call Yun Yongzhu over for breakfast and then go to the ancestral hall to enter the family tree. Seeing Yun Yongzhu coming out, Yun's father called him to have breakfast together. I haven't eaten Lingayan egg custard for a long time. It seems that I took advantage of Juana today. Yang Liu raised 2 Lingayan chickens. She would make egg custard, boiled eggs, egg pancakes, etc. from the eggs laid by these 2 low-grade spiritual beasts to supplement the nutrition of Yun Yongzhu and others. However, these 2 Lingayan chickens had been slaughtered by Yang Liu and his wife at the reunion dinner. I went to the clan yesterday and exchanged 20 contribution points for them. They can lay eggs directly. 2 Lingayan chickens can lay 3 to 6 eggs every month to supplement Juana's body. You took advantage of Juana. Yun Yongzhu laughed foolishly when he heard it. Mom, this egg custard is really delicious. How could it not be delicious? This is a spiritual egg worth 0.2 spiritual stones. As long as it tastes good, I'll make you some omelets next time, so you can eat them alternately. After an incense stick, the family of 4 finished eating a large pot of spiritual rice porridge, and Yun Yongzhu burped. Yang Liu wiped the corners of his mouth and said, "Husband, it's almost time, let's go." Yang Liu didn't follow him to the ancestral hall as usual. Yun Dachin took Yun Yongzhu to a flying sword magic weapon, and Yun Yongzhu sacrificed the flowing light wings and followed behind. Such a large family, and it is also a weapon refining family, but only a few of the clansmen have flying magic weapons. The clansmen generally use the cloud soaring technique to travel, and Yun Dachin's flying sword magic weapon was given by Yun Yongzhu several years ago. However, the cloud soaring technique is not a magic formula that ordinary people can possess and practice. It is a magic formula unique to Yunwu Mountain. About a quarter of an hour, the 3 of them arrived at the entrance of the ancestral hall. There is not much change here, except that the trees along the road have become more lush. We are here, Juana, follow me in. Yun Yongzhu followed behind, watching his father holding Yun Yongzhu's hand and walking into the ancestral hall, and couldn't help but be dazed for a moment. This was so similar to the scene 16 years ago when his father brought him to the ancestral hall to test his spiritual roots. The only difference was that the people were different and his mood was different. Yun Zuxuan and Yun Shicheng had already arrived and were waiting in the lobby. Yun Dachin hurriedly pulled Yun Yongzhu to salute, and Yun Yongzhu followed suit. 25th uncle, clan leader, sorry for the long wait. Yun Zuxuan waved his hand and said, no need to be polite, we just arrived too. Is this child Juana? Yun Dachin replied respectfully, yes. Then he said to Yun Yongzhu beside him, Juana, quickly pay your respects to your 25th great uncle and the clan leader. Yun Yongzhu obediently bowed to the 2 again. Juana greets my 25th great uncle and my clan leader uncle. Yun Zuxuan touched Yun Yongzhu's little head, turned to Yun Shicheng and said, second brother, let's get started. Yun Shicheng nodded and took out a jade ruler that Yun Yongzhu was familiar with. Juana, come here, put your hand on it and feel it with your heart. Yun Yongzhu glanced at Yun Dachin, then walked up to Yun Shicheng, called him clan leader uncle, and then put his little hand on the jade ruler. Everyone's attention was focused on the jade ruler. As soon as Yun Yongzhu's hand was placed on it, the 2-foot-long magic weapon emitted red and green light, with each color accounting for half and distributed evenly. Seeing this, Yun Zuxuan and Yun Shicheng smiled. Yun Zuxuan took Yun Yongzhu's hand, closed his eyes, and checked for a moment, then opened his eyes and said, judging from Juana's bone age, he should be 9 years old. Second brother, take Juana in to pay respect to the ancestors, and add his name. I will leave first. Everyone bowed and watched Yun Zuxuan leave. After Yun Zuxuan left, Yun Shicheng took Yun Yongzhu to the innermost part, and Yun Yongzhu and his son waited in the lobby. Soon, Yun Shicheng brought Yun Yongzhu out. Old 5, Xiaojiu should have told you. I'll say it again. You go ahead. Juana's spiritual roots are wood, fire and earth. I've just told Juana in there. Uncle 25th gave me a magic weapon that can disguise it as an earth attributed spiritual root. I've given it to Juana. Clan leader, don't worry, Zua has already told my husband and me about this matter. We know the severity of the matter and will not leak a single thing. That's good, take them back. By the way, Juana is the 18th in the young generation. Aina and Kanja will move one position back. I'll also have someone notify little Mia. Okay. Mia, whom Yun Shichen was talking about, is the youngest cultivator in the family, and she has only been in the family school for 1 year. Chapter 98 Reminiscence of the Past and Present. The group left the ancestral hall and went their separate ways. Yun Yongzhu had told his father yesterday that he was going to meet his cousins, so he did not go home with his father and flew directly to the cave of his 7th brother Yun Yongzhu. When Yun Yongzhu arrived at the location Yun Yongzhu mentioned, he could see 6 or 7 courtyards nearby. However, his 7th brother planted a mulberry tree in front of his courtyard, so it was easy to find. He used his spiritual energy to tap the restriction at the door, and the restriction disappeared immediately. Yun Yongzhu stepped into the gate and walked straight along the main road inside. Before he entered the inner courtyard, a large group of people came out to greet him. Big brother, second sister. Yun Yongzhu only recognized some of the people in the large group, and some had changed so much that he could not tell which one they were. Everyone surrounded Yun Yongzhu, calling him Xiaojiu, ninth brother, and a few called him Uncle Nine. The crowd surrounded Yun Yongzhu and walked into the yard. After a few steps, he entered the inner courtyard. The most senior male cultivator here was Yun Dayan. He had seen Yun Yongzhu yesterday and did not go out to join in the fun. Seeing that everyone was surrounding Yun Yongzhu, he couldn't help but say, "Everyone, disperse and sit down. You are all in your 20s, what are you doing?" Although Yun Dayan was not the eldest, his words were very effective. The family was the most particular about seniority. Yun Yongzhu breathed a sigh of relief. He asked everyone to sit down in the yard and ordered the servants to bring up the tea and snacks that had been prepared long ago. Then he stood up and took control of the whole scene. "Everyone, I know that you haven't seen the 9th brother for a long time and want to talk to him. However, the 9th brother and we haven't seen each other for more than 10 years, and he can't recognize all of us." Yun Yongzhu nodded in agreement when he heard this. Everyone looked at him and laughed out loud. Someone asked, "Xiaojiu, can you recognize who I am?" "My 8th brother." In the past, my 8th brother Yun Yongzhu was the closest to Yun Yongzhu, and Yun Yongzhu couldn't fail to recognize him. Yun Yongzhu's question was like a match, igniting everyone's curiosity and bad taste, and they all asked Yun Yongzhu who they were. Okay, let Xiaojiu identify them one by one." Seeing the lively scene, Yun Dayan said in a booing tone. Seeing that everyone had quieted down and looked at him, Yun Yongzhu had to identify them one by one, based on their childhood appearance. 18th aunt, 2nd sister, 10th sister, Changjiu, big brother, Changlang. There were relatively few female cultivators in the family, and the age gap was also large. Yun Yongzhu easily recognized Yun Daili, Yun Yongzhu, Yun Yongsun, and Yun Changjiu. As for recognizing big brother Yun Yongke and Yun Changlong, it was because they were older and had not changed much. The others have changed too much. I can't recognize them. Everyone unanimously asked him to guess. After a dozen people laughed and made noises, they told Yun Yongzhu their names. 4th brother Yun Yongzhang said, "Xiaojiu, you have been away from the family for 12 years. I still remember that you brought 4 red peaches to me to learn the fireball technique. Time flies." Yun Changlong smiled and said, "Yes, I also saw Uncle Jiu playing the fireball technique in the back mountain, and it made a big pit. I was really envious at that time." Yun Yongzhen said, "I just remember that brother Jiu invited me to eat the first spiritual rice. At that time, I didn't know the fireball technique. I still remember the taste." Yun Yongzhen was the 3rd year that Yun Yongzhu and his friends entered the family school. He was a Yun family member with spiritual root qualifications from ordinary family members. Until Yun Yongzhu left, Yun Yongzhen was the youngest in the family school. When the others heard what they said, they also sighed that time flies. 9th brother, you have not lived in vain in the Qingshan sect for more than 10 years. You see, you have already reached the 7th level of key training, and I heard that you are now a 1st level upper grade alchemist. Is this true? Yun Yongzhu smiled and nodded. Yes, I have been busy for more than 10 years, and finally I have achieved some results. Yun Yongzhu heard him say this and couldn't help but say, Zhaozu, you are too modest. How can you say that you have achieved some results? It is absolutely an excellent result. I have the same spiritual root aptitude as you, but with a full training of the family, I'm only at the 6th level of key training, and the level of a weapon refiner is only the 1st level middle grade. If you were not my brother, I would be jealous to death. Yun Yongzhu suddenly stood up and covered his heart, and Yun Yongzhu and others were shocked. Third brother, what's wrong with you? Others also looked at him with concern. Yun Yongzhu trembled with his right hand and pointed at Yun Yongzhu and Yun Yongzhu with his index finger. You two, have you ever thought about me and how we all feel? The highest level among us is only the 4th level of key training. Everyone rolled their eyes at him and sat back in their seats. Yun Changjiao pointed at the hairpin on her head and said, Uncle Jiu, look at the billing hairpin on my head. Isn't it beautiful? Thank you for giving me this magic weapon. I like it very much. Yun Daily also touched the red jade hairpin on her head and said, Zhao Jiu, I know that you have given everyone here a magic weapon or other gifts. It must have cost a lot. It's okay. I don't have anything to do in Kingshan sect. I practice and make pills every day, and I also earn some spiritual stones. It's said that I just prepared all the gifts that day and was about to leave the sect to return to the family. The 25th grandfather and my father came, and I almost missed it. Yun Dayan pointed at Yun Yongzhu. I say you are really brave. I heard that Kingshan sect is tens of thousands of miles away from our family. You dare to run back alone from such a distance? Yeah, we haven't even left the state yet. The farthest I have been is Blackstone Town. Haha, if I fly back by myself, I dare not. There are merchant ships in the sect that travel between various states, and I took a ride back. Then Yun Yongzhu truthfully recounted what happened on his way back. Everyone was excited by Yun Yongzhu's hunting of monsters in the Monster Mountain Range, and they wished they could go to the Monster Mountain Range to hunt monsters and collect spiritual medicine. In fact, Yunwu Mountain is also a good place to hunt monsters, and many people in the family also go there to experience. Everyone was listening excitedly, and he told about the incident of encountering an evil cultivator sneak attack and killing a foundation building evil cultivator. The thrilling life of Yun Yongzhu hanging by a thread also poured a basin of cold water on everyone. Fortunately, I was lucky and reacted in time, otherwise I would not have come back alive. When we return to Kingshan sect, Zhaojiu, you should stay in the sect and come back after building your foundation. In everyone's mind, there are only a few people in the family who have the hope of building a foundation, and Yun Yongzhu is naturally on the list. Yun Yongzhu was also a little scared and nodded and said, this experience is enough. Next time I come back, I will definitely be in the foundation building realm. At this time, Yun Dayan stood up. The ingredients we ordered have arrived. Zio C, Zio Wu, Zio Ki, the three of you come with me to get them in. Yun Daily explained to Yun Yongzhu. We all gathered some spiritual stones, bought some spiritual materials, and made spiritual meals ourselves as a welcome for you. Yun Yongzhu proudly jumped to Yun Yongzhu's side and said, Brother Jiu, you would never have thought that I'm now a first-class mid-grade spiritual chef. This little girl has a chance. She worshipped a casual cultivator passing by as her teacher and learned some spiritual cooking methods. Now she is a first-class mid-grade spiritual chef. The spiritual meals she makes are not only delicious, but also rich in spiritual energy. Spiritual chefs are also called spiritual chefs. They can perfectly preserve the spiritual energy contained in spiritual materials and make delicious meals. Yundale's tone was a little envious. Although spiritual chefs are not as good as the 4 arts of cultivating immortals, they are not bad either. It is much better than not having any skills at all. Yun Yongzhu looked at the girl in front of him in surprise. Zana, you are amazing. It's a pity that master has to travel around. Otherwise I might be able to advance to the first level upper grade spiritual chef. A first level middle grade spiritual chef is already very good. Keep working hard. Soon, the 20th Uncle Yun Dayan led his 3 nephews into the inner courtyard. He called Yun Yongzhu and asked Yun Yongzhu to lead the way to the kitchen. The 18th Aunt Yun Daily brought a second sister Yun Yongzhu and the 7th child Yun Chang'an to help. The sixth sister Yun Yongmeng and the fifth child Yun Changjiao were not very interested in the kitchen. The two surrounded Yun Yongzhu and asked about the customs of Qingshan sect and other states. Yun Yongzhu then described what he saw and heard along the way. However, he spent most of his time hunting, practicing, refining pills and rushing on the road. He finished telling everything he knew in a short while. In fact, Yun Yongzhu had been away from the family for 12 years, and he had a certain sense of distance from these people. Firstly, it was because of time. We hadn't seen each other for a long time. More importantly, Yun Yongzhu stood out from everyone. Not only did he have the highest cultivation, but he also became a first-class top-grade alchemist. In the sect, a first-class top-grade alchemist is outstanding, but not very rare. But in Yunzhou, although first-class top-grade alchemists are not rare, they are not numerous, so their status is very noble. Therefore, Yun Shicheng wanted to publicize that his family had such an outstanding child in Yunzhou. The reason why so many clansmen came to welcome him back this time has a lot to do with his status as a first-class top-grade alchemist. Of course, it was also because Yun Yongzhu had a good relationship with everyone in the family before he left, and he also gave everyone valuable gifts in the past few years. Yun Yongzhu finished his story and asked about everyone's development in the family. He found that among everyone, only his 7th brother Yun Yongyan and his 8th brother Yun Yongzi became first-class weapon refiners, and his 4th brother Yun Yongzhang and 6th sister Yun Yongmeng became first-class low-grade talisman makers. The others had no talent for weapon refiners and talismans. Uncle 20. A few years ago, Grandpa 25 brought back the inheritance of a first-class alchemist. Have you tried it? We have heard of it, but isn't it too late to learn now? Yun Yongzhu then used his father as an example. How could it be? My father is over 40 years old, and he is still learning alchemy. Now he can refine the Bidu pill and the key gathering pill. Although the success rate is low, it is more than enough for his own practice. In a few years, he may even become a first-class lower-grade alchemist. In addition, Uncle 9 is now an alchemy apprentice. Really? Of course it's true. How can it be false? I suggest you try it. Think about it. Now there are weapon refiners, talisman makers, alchemists, and spiritual chefs in the family. This is a sign of the prosperity of the family. Don't you want to add fuel to the prosperity of the family? Yun Daily brought out a plate of fragrant red-skin beast meat. It's true. I heard that the family school will soon add an introductory course on alchemy, and the teacher is Uncle Jiu. With Yun Daily's affirmation, everyone's minds became active. Since they have not made any achievements in refining instruments and talismans, why not try alchemy? Although the family stipulates that members with cultivation qualifications should go to the school at the age of 6 to learn cultivation knowledge and go out to build caves and work for the family at the age of 16, it does not prevent them from returning to the school to study after building caves. They just have to arrange their own time and cannot live in the school. Go to the kitchen and help serve the dishes. Xiaojiu, you sit here. After a while, Yun Yongzhen made more than a dozen delicacies, which were delicious. Yun Daily and Yun Dayan, as the only two elders, said to start eating, and everyone couldn't wait to use their chopsticks. During the meal, everyone took care of Yun Yongzhu and asked him to eat more spiritual food. Yun Yongzhu praised Yun Yongzhen's cooking skills while eating. Zaina, your cooking skills are pretty good. You can consider opening your own spiritual food shop. Since you are so enthusiastic about welcoming me, I will reveal a piece of family news to you in advance. While eating the delicious spiritual food, everyone asked what the news was. In a month, the family will hold a trade fair in Yunwu town at the foot of the mountain. At that time, we will invite all the big and small families in Yunzhou, as well as people from Yunjin Mountain and Wanhua Valley. The independent cultivators will also come after hearing the news. This news will spread throughout Yunzhou sooner or later. If Yun Yongzhu tells them earlier, they can get the upper hand and make a profit from it. However, whether Uncle 20 and the others can seize the opportunity depends on themselves. No matter what business you do, people are the most important. The cultivators gathered in Yunwu town. As long as they are smart, they can buy some popular magic tools and talismans at a low price now, and they will not worry about not being able to sell them. Xiaojiu, you didn't frame us, did you? How can that be? At that time, we will mainly trade the elixirs I made, and the magic tools and talismans of the family. Everyone believed the news, and started to think about it. Speaking of elixirs, I have prepared 2 key gathering pills for each of you this time. The elixir is of the same grade as your elm. Don't think it's too little. When they heard that Yun Yongzhu had elixirs as a gift, they were delighted. No. 2 key gathering pills are not a small amount. Uncle Jiu is really generous. Indeed, you have to know that there are 11 clan members present, excluding Yun Yongzhu. Even if each of them gets to low grade key gathering pills, it will take 22 pills, which will cost at least more than 170 spirit stones to buy. The clan cultivators are relatively wealthy, but most of the clan members give out spiritual rice as food, so they don't have many spirit stones. There is no monthly allowance of spirit stones for the primary stage of key training, only 10 kilograms of low grade spiritual rice, which can be exchanged for 2 spirit stones. The market price of a low grade key gathering pill is 8 spirit stones, which means that they need to accumulate 4 months of spiritual rice monthly allowance for 1 low grade key gathering pill. Not to mention, there are 2 people in the middle stage of key training, and the middle grade key gathering pill is 2 spirit stones more expensive than the low grade key gathering pill. An hour later, everyone finished eating nearly 20 spiritual meals and a large pot of spiritual rice made by Yun Yongzhu, and Yun Yongzhu began to distribute key gathering pills to everyone. After distributing the pills, everyone was smiling. Jiu, thank you very much. Thank you, brother Jiu. Thank you, Uncle Jiu. We are all family, no need to be polite. By the way, I will refine a lot of key gathering pills in the next month. In addition to the ones used for the trade fair, I will keep some for the clan. I should be able to exchange them with spiritual stones or contribution points in the mission hall. No matter what qualifications you have, as long as you have enough resources, you will have hope to build your foundation. Speaking of this, Yun Yongzhu's brothers are a good example. Yun Yongbei and the 2 twins, with the help of pills, have a cultivation realm far beyond their peers. The 3 of them are very famous in the clan because of their cultivation, especially the twins, who stand out in the family school. Yun Yongzhu also hopes to stimulate these close family members to work harder to earn cultivation resources. It's getting late. We've gathered and eaten. Let's all go home. Jiu, you should also go back and take care of your own things. Except for Yun Changjiu and Yun Chang'an who stayed behind to clean up the mess. Everyone left Yun Yong'an's cave. Chapter 99 Uncle 9th Yun Shui. Yun Yongzhu returned to his home and hurried to the house to refine and absorb the spiritual energy of the spiritual food he had just eaten. After a big cycle of operation, he slowly opened his eyes. He didn't expect that his 10th sister had such good fortune. The spiritual food she made was really different from the food made by his mother. After eating this spiritual food, it was as if he had practiced hard for a whole day. For those tribesmen who were in the early stage of key training, the effect was even more obvious, at least equivalent to their 3 or 5 days of hard training. After Yun Yongzhu finished his practice, he stopped thinking about it and started to refine the pills. Unexpectedly, just after refining a furnace of key gathering pills, a visitor came to the door. Zua, Uncle Jiu is looking for you. Yun Yongzhu heard his father Yun Daichen whispering outside the door. He put away the 5 key gathering pills that had just come out of the furnace, cleaned up the stone table for refining pills, and then tidied his clothes, and walked out of this temporary alchemy room. Dad, did you just say that Uncle 9 is looking for me? Yes, Uncle 9 is waiting in the main living room. Go quickly and don't keep Uncle 9 waiting for too long. Okay, then Dad, go and do your work. I'll be there soon. Yun Yongzhu quickened his pace and walked towards the main living room of the family. As soon as he entered the small door on the side of the living room, he saw Uncle 9 Yun Shui pacing thoughtfully inside. Uncle 9, long time no see. Are you looking for me? Yun Shui heard Yun Yongzhu's voice and turned around to see a familiar young monk saluting him. He quickly walked to Yun Yongzhu, grabbed his arm, and helped him up. Little 9. No need to be polite. Just now, I thought it was old 5 who came. Yun Yongzhu was already very familiar with this. Everyone in the family would talk about his appearance when they saw him. He was very confused about the purpose of Yun Shui looking for him. Uncle 9, what do you want to talk to me about? Hearing Yun Yongzhu's question, Yun Shui explained, Little 9, it's like this. The clan school has arranged a new course on alchemy, and I will be responsible for teaching it. Tomorrow is the first class. I heard about your return, and wanted to invite you to teach this class. Yun Yongzhu was quite surprised to hear this. He didn't expect that the course on alchemy would be opened in the blink of an eye just after Aunt 18 said this news. He didn't hesitate for a long time. This matter was very simple for him, and it was only a matter of 1 or 2 hours. Uncle 9, then I will follow your instructions. I will come to the family school to find you on time at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Okay, Little 9, then I will wait for you to come tomorrow morning. Well, Uncle 9, take care. After seeing Yun Shui off, Yun Yongzhu thought for a while and decided to refine a furnace of Bigu pills directly in class. This Bigu pill can be regarded as the simplest and easiest to refine among all the pills. Refining the Bigu pill is not only simple to operate, but also requires very few ingredients. Bigu pill is also the entry-level pill for alchemy apprentices. After thinking about it, Yun Yongzhu immediately went to prepare several Bigu pill ingredients. He has 2 first-level Bigu pill recipes in his hand, and he can also refine them. This time he plans to use the family's recipe with spiritual rice as the main ingredient. This Bigu pill recipe is simpler than the recipe in the sect. It only requires 3 ingredients in total. In addition to the main ingredient of spiritual rice, the remaining ingredients are Yun and white ginseng. There is no need to worry about the spiritual rice among the 3 spiritual ingredients. White ginseng is a commonly used spiritual medicine. It has a warming and tonic effect when eaten directly. Even Yang Liu has a few of them. What he needs to worry about now is Yun. As a family of refining tools, Yunwu Mountain only grows spiritual plants and spiritual medicines with high value or good sales in the spiritual fields and medicine gardens of the clan. Spiritual medicines like Yun that are used to refine Bigu pills should not be specially cultivated. In order to ensure that he could refine the Bigu pill smoothly in class tomorrow, Yun Yongzhu had to go down the mountain and buy some at the market in Yunwu town. After preparing the materials for the 3 Bigu pills, Yun Yongzhu was able to devote himself to the alchemy with peace of mind. Chapter 100 Mr. One Day. The next day, Yun Yongzhu got up early to practice and did not finish his practice until the beginning of the morning. He packed himself up, went to his parents' house for breakfast, and then flew very fast to the direction of the family school halfway up the mountain. In about a quarter of an hour, he reached his destination. While still in midair, Yun Yongzhu saw Yun Shui waiting outside the family school. Uncle Jiu, are you waiting for me? Yes, I want to listen to your class, too. Yun Yongzhu felt a little embarrassed when he heard this. Come in, Jiu. Yun Yongzhu responded and followed Yun Shui into the family school that was both strange and familiar to him. He had only stayed in this place for 4 years. 12 years later, the family school did not seem to have changed much, except that the trees inside were thicker and more lush. Jiu, the introductory alchemy class is scheduled in a new courtyard. I have already ordered people to set up the classroom, and there is also a stone platform for alchemy. The clan also gave me a first level lower grade alchemy furnace. Uncle Jiu, I have my own alchemy furnace. For today's first class, I plan to refine a furnace of Bigu pills on the spot to open their eyes. It's even better if you have your own alchemy furnace. Bigu pills are good. I can only refine Bigu pills now, so it's a good opportunity for me to learn from you. The 2 of them walked and talked, and soon arrived outside the courtyard, where the class was held. Before entering, you can hear whispers coming from inside. When Yun Shui pushed open the door, it immediately became quiet inside. There were only 5 juniors in total, and they stood up at the same time to salute Yun Shui. Good morning, Uncle Jiu. Good morning, Great Uncle Jiu. Yun Shui waved his hand and asked the 5 people to sit down, then took Yun Yongzhu to the position of the stone platform in the middle and introduced him to everyone. This is Yun Yongzhu, the young generation. He is the 9th among his peers. I think you should have heard of his name. Today is the first alchemy introductory class in the family. I specially invited him to teach you. You must listen carefully. Xiaojiu, leave it to you. Yun Shui walked to the side and made room for him. Yun Yongzhu walked to the middle of the stone platform with a subtle mood and looked at the 5 children below the stage. I won't say much nonsense. Today is the first alchemy introductory class in the family. I will refine a furnace of Bagu pills on the spot for you to see. You can experience it. If you don't understand anything, ask me after the alchemy is finished. Yun Yongzhu took out the prepared alchemy materials and spiritual wood and placed them one by one on the rectangular stone platform about 4 feet high in front of him. Before refining, I will briefly talk about the materials for refining. You can come closer and take a look. Yun Yongzhu pointed at the materials on the stone platform and pointed at that material every time he mentioned one. These are the materials for refining the Bagu pill. You all know the spiritual rice. This is the middle grade green bamboo rice. You can also use the lower grade red marrow rice and the middle grade green spiritual rice to refine the Bagu pill in the future. This spiritual rice is a main ingredient of the Bagu pill. The other 2 are white ginseng and Pureria lobata. White ginseng and Pureria lobata are recorded in the Yun's Herbal Classic. You can go and have a look after class. The main function of the Bagu pill is to fill the stomach of the monk. It is not difficult to guess that it is mainly the spiritual rice that works. Then, why add the other 2 spiritual medicines? Isn't this superfluous? Yun Shui listened very carefully at the side. He had never thought about this problem. Of course not. Even if the spiritual rice is of medium or high quality, the portion is only 3 taels, which is barely enough for 1 meal, while a low quality Bagu pill can fill the stomach for 7 days. Because the materials of each kind of elixir are divided into main medicine and auxiliary medicine, and the relationship between them is that of monarch and minister, complementing each other and none of them can be missing. The main medicine is the first and indispensable, and although the auxiliary medicine is indispensable, it can be replaced by other materials with the same medicinal properties. Take the Bagu pill for example. If spiritual rice is used alone to refine it, in the end no elixir can be refined, and at most only a little bit of spiritual rice essence can be harvested. After adding white ginseng and genuine root, it can assist in the formation of the elixir and prolong the filling effect of the spiritual rice essence. Ever since Yun Yongzhu experienced the elixir enlightenment, he has had a deeper understanding of the medicinal properties of the elixir. He did not have such a profound experience in refining the elixir before. It doesn't matter if you don't understand these. Keep them in mind, and maybe you will understand them one day. Let's get back to the topic. Next, I will start refining. I won't cover the lid, and will slow down the process. Watch carefully and listen to me carefully. Yun Yongzhu placed the spiritual wood in the small hole on the right side of the stone platform, ignited it with the fireball technique, and then placed his 9-dragon cauldron on it. This spiritual wood is a first grade low grade red sun wood. You should be familiar with it. The refining apprentices in the family all use red sun wood to refine magic tools, and most other people also use this material to quench various refining materials. I'm now preheating the alchemy furnace. Preheating is a step that must be performed when refining all elixirs, otherwise the furnace will definitely explode. Since you have come to listen to the class, you must have already started learning the fire control art or red fire art. Whether it is during preheating or in the following process, you must use the magic formula to control the temperature and keep every part of the furnace evenly heated. The preheating time should not be too long. When you feel it is about right, pour a little clean water into the furnace. Spring water is also fine, and spiritual water is even better. I have to say here that you don't need to add water when refining the Bagu pill, but after many years of refining, I found that novices are very likely to fail in the first step. This is mainly because the temperature is not well controlled, so you must practice the fire control art or red fire art to the great success level, so that you can better control the temperature. Let's get back to the point. After preheating the furnace, add spiritual rice to the furnace. When the spiritual rice softens into liquid at high temperature, you can use spiritual power to slowly remove the impurities found by the divine sense, until the impurities are no longer visible. This process of removing impurities is very important. If too many impurities are left, even if the final pill is formed, it will be a low-grade pill with low efficacy, or even a waste pill that cannot be taken. Of course, the Bigu pill is a low-level pill among low-level pills. There are only 3 kinds of materials in total, so removing impurities is relatively simple. The difficulty of Bigu pill is the control of the temperature, because the main ingredient, the spiritual rice, can easily melt into liquid under high temperature, and will burn, if you are not careful. In less than half an hour, Yun Yongzhu saw that there were no more impurities, so he put the white ginseng and Yun into the pill furnace together. When the impurities and the spiritual rice liquid are removed, the remaining 2 spiritual medicines can be thrown into the pill furnace. While he was talking, he steadily controlled the spiritual flame of the red sunwood, trying to delay a little time, to give them space to observe. About half an hour later, all the impurities in the mixed liquid of spiritual medicines and the 9-dragon cauldron were removed. When the impurities are removed, and the liquid has become extremely thick, you can start to condense the pill. Yun Yongzhu then closed the lid of the 9-dragon cauldron, and pinched a condensation pill dew. Under the effect of the Ningdan dew, the 9-dragon cauldron shook, making a sound of the essence of the medicine hitting the furnace wall. When the 9-dragon cauldron calmed down, Yun Yongzhu waved his hand, opened the lid, and used the controlling objects technique to absorb the pills inside the cauldron. A series of round pills flew out of the 9-dragon cauldron and entered the jade bottle that Yun Yongzhu had placed on the stone table. He handed the jade bottle to the child closest to him, and the other 4 all gathered to watch. This is the refining process of the Bigu pill. How is it? Did you see it clearly? Do you have any questions? Brother Jiu, there are 6 Bigu pills in it. The 5 little brats did not answer his question, and were all shocked by his alchemy results. Yun Shui was shocked by Yun Yongzhu's smooth alchemy skills and process, and then awakened by the number of pills he refined. Jiu, your alchemy skills are really amazing. The success rate of the Bigu pill is as high as 60%. The recipe of this Bigu pill only has 3 ingredients, and a full pill is 10 pills, so 6 pills are produced, and the success rate is 60%. Yun Shui looked at Yun Yongzhu with eyes full of love and admiration. Uncle Jiu, I'm just getting started, but unfortunately my current cultivation level is only the 7th level of key training, so I dare not easily try to refine the 2nd level elixir. Although Yun Yongzhu is very proud of his alchemy skills, he is very humble in front of his elders. But he does regret that his cultivation level is low, and he dare not open the furnace to refine higher level elixirs. There is a chance, Jiu, you will definitely build a foundation. After Yun Shui finished speaking to Yun Yongzhu, he said to the 5 people who were still amazed, ahem, after watching Jiu's process of refining the Bigu pill, don't you have any questions to ask? No. Uncle Jiu explained it very clearly, there is nothing wrong or missing. Yes, we won't know if there are any problems until we refine it ourselves. The 5 little guys were not afraid of people and expressed their ideas one after another. In that case, Zua, you go ahead and do your work. I will tell them the key points of refining the pill. Yun Yongzhu guessed that Uncle Jiu knew that the family was going to hold a trade fair, so he let him go so quickly. Yes, Uncle Jiu, I'll go back first. Take care, Brother Jiu. Take care, Uncle Jiu. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.